Good evening and welcome to episode 12 of Get It Forward. We're shaking it up now, we're going a little bit different tonight. I'm going to say a former player, we've just had a little conversation about that. Former player, spent time in Northern Counties East League and also spent a good proportion of his younger years in and around the Barnsley Premier Division. But then got on to bigger and better things in terms of his assistant referee career. Is that assistant referee?
It is.
Is that right?
That's the official title.
That's the official title.
I've got a line.
Line knows better in it, but not only has he done plenty of Football League games, but he's been a major feature on our televisions now for what seems like an eternity on them touchlines. In the Premier League, it's Mr. Scott Ledger. So thanks for joining us, Scott.
Thank you. No, thanks for having me, boys. Since episode 12.
Episode 12.
I think I've done about 8, and they've been good.
Thank you.
It is. I'm just saying before we started, in green room before we started. Any content to do with football, I'm all of it because I'm obsessed with it. And when I heard you boys were doing it, I just thought, looking forward to the first stint, and obviously I dropped a new, and I said, do you want to come on? I said, it'd be amazing to come on. And I've watched 8, I think still a couple to watch, like I said, I got on my bike, put my phone in my pocket, listen to them, like, shouldn't have seen our ugly faces, do you know what I mean? But it's good, it's been really good, man. It's like, that's something that's not, how can I say, we don't plug enough local football and semi-professional football. It's all close stuff, and I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, because at the end of the day, it's brilliant to watch, but also we're not as privileged to play professional football. It's still good to release.
Well, to be fair, that's a lot of it is all around that. There's so many people involved in non-league. You know, your volunteers and stuff that keep these clubs running year after year after year. They deserve a medal, don't they? Every single one of them. And the experiences that obviously we've shared and had individually have been stuff you'll keep forever. Still continuing with it, so it's
the lifeblood, isn't it? It's like
it is. I'm
on Others Erect Committee. This is Saturday team, by the way. Pete bullied me into that, and I'm happy to be involved. I'm happy to be. When Pete Goodlad brings you up, saying, "Oh, it's come to mind," I'm like, "What?" So I'm going to see. He says, "We need some younger blood on committee." I says, "Younger blood? Sounds good to me, mate." I'll take that compliment. So so I'm involved with them. So I get to watch a lot. I've not been to Husbands much this year. So first game of the season on my birthday, actually, 26th of July. I had a couple of beers, went to watch it. Obviously, Friday night.
Friday night, went the first one.
There's a tackle in that game, by the way.
That was
making his debut for you boys.
Yeah, it's
absolute shock, and I'm stood just there. I'm just stood there.
Young Ellis.
I just come from one more main, hasn't he?
Yeah, back to one main.
So I'm just lent up by with my mate. My mate's never been to others before. I said, come and watch a local game. Do you fancy a pint? Yeah, it was a big local game, on the game of the season. I went and I just got a couple of cans of blood and just lent up by it. Just as tackle went in front of us, and it's not nice, is it? Gosh, your game, really.
Yeah, we'd have beaten that day,
yeah.
But it's first game of the season, local derby.
Red hot, wasn't it? Friday night.
Everybody's buzzing into this first game, yeah.
If that tackle's going in, where do you not want to put it in?
Front of dugouts?
They always have in front of dugouts. They always do.
Right.
Why is that?
Everybody's in.
Yeah. Because Rob's on pitching it, because obviously we'll speak about Rob, because we both play for Bob Landon, you know what I mean? And I've got a lot of respect for Rob. He's on, he gets a yellow card shoved up his nose, it'll carnage. But I don't know why. All the bad tackles always down in front of dugouts. Why is that? Because it manages there, and people want to try a little bit harder, with that, so a little bit harder, a little bit.
How long into the game was that?
20 odd minutes, wasn't it?
It's
killed game. It was.
What killed game? Well, they went 4-5-1 against the 10.
Yeah. It's a good week game. Good win.
It's what's coming in the game.
Yeah. The finish draw.
0-0. Yeah. We were on about it before. 5 heads in your first few games.
Yeah.
It's cost you longer, hasn't it? Because it's hard enough to win a game of football with 11.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when you're playing with 10 at any level, it's hard work, isn't it?
It's funny you saying that though with tackles.
They always have there.
Yeah, we had a stinker one at Emma.
Yeah.
That were banging from
the 2
or 3 yards.
Plus you've got no fourth official as well, have you? So it's like just basically every man and his dog's in.
Yeah.
Pull old line knows there on his own, trying to split everybody up.
Yeah.
Reason I'm laughing, week before I'd gone to watch Penistone versus Worsborough, last pre-season friendly. Danny House puts one in that's even worse.
Even worse than friendly.
Just in front of dugouts again, weren't it?
Yeah. Manage it. It's a friendly, innit? It's a friendly. I've done pre-season friendlies, I haven't even technical cards.
Eat his knee.
Yeah. That one around, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's football, mate. It's passionate, isn't it?
So take us back then, Scott. Growing up, Royston
boy, yeah, and I was privileged because my dad was a big football fan. and I saw some of the best football teams in and around areas. A kid, Oliver Twist, who ended up being Royston Bush, some Lee Harvey, Dodger, Bowie, some at Eamon Cadner, played my ex-Man City player. Gaz was a striker. He played back horse though, didn't he, Gaz?
Yeah.
Back horse boy, weren't he? Yeah, back here. Yeah, okay, good play, by the way. Yeah, probably still can. I'll tell you a story about Craig in a bit. Because I played with Craig at Royston Clonard when I just started, so I used to go watch him on 14-15 with my dad, and he used to walk up to. He played pig farm at Royston, oh you know it or not. So every Sunday morning, you've got North Road football pitch, Oliver Twist. Obviously, they moved from Twist and then moved to Bush. Still same team, same kit, they just changed the name. And some top players. So you've seen these top players, and shorts up to here, you know, Dodge had his shorts pulled around his neck, you know what I mean, the top player. And the level of quality. And I remember watching it, and that's when I kind of fell in love with it, really, because they were top sides. And then a couple of times I got to Orwell because they were one of the best sides. And my dad took me to watching it cup final. I remember watching it cup final a few times, Challenge Cup and that. And the level back then I thought were quality. So I fell in love with it then.
Yeah.
And then obviously as you progress, I played junior football. And then it's different to now. When we finished at under 16s, that was us.
Yeah.
You stayed to adults football, bang, straight at it. And I went to play football. I played about half a season football. I was only a kid. And then I went to Royston Backhorse. And I signed for Pack because he's giving me £5 every Sunday to put it up. Now, 16-year-old with £5 in 1991, 92, it's decent, isn't it? It's paying me out Sunday afternoon. Yeah, so it's go down to Moncton at Royston and put nets up on my own line.
You couldn't run car for a week.
I couldn't, honestly, mate. But so I used to get a £5, put nets, so I used to walk down to Royston. I had to at Keyford, old pavilion, which is obviously gone now because we have teams in it. I used to put nets up. I think, I can have nets this week. I thought, Luton's net's a little bit shallow, so I better like Luton, and then I thought I'd make them a bit longer. But I used to take nets on. So when we played football after school, or at some night, nets in house. And it was game changing for us as kids and brothers.
Absolutely. We had a similar conversation last week with Brett Agnew, and he was saying like they'd built them out of trees, but they got some of that old, remember old sort of, it was like an orange fence that the council used to put out, and he dug them up and played them out and that.
Well, we've done all that.
We were saying earlier that one of the fellas who used to move car, and his fence, when it opened up, still got like the thing at like 7 foot.
I used to be, I used to drive out, it was perfect.
It was a net. We did back then.
How many times did you use that?
I played it every week.
You'd make a net out of it, wouldn't you?
Look at me. It's like whatever, when we're growing up, whatever I want to tell you, we played. So it's like we had like obviously cricket on in summer, we played a bit of cricket and that, but obviously we're all obsessed with football and stuff. We once played a football and I was shot front.
Wimbledon, everybody's walking around with tennis.
Oh, of course they were, yeah.
We used to chalk it out on the road.
Yeah, I've got a picture.
Court.
Yeah.
Wimbledon were on.
Yeah.
There was 10 that were in net there. And
well, we used to play at Royston School, which had 4 tennis courts. But then at cricket season, we used to take nets out, play cricket in the metal it's changed now, hasn't it?
You
can't even get on school.
You can. But yeah, that's when I fell in love with football then, and that's I played for Pack. Didn't play many games because I was only a 16, 17-year-old kid. When they were short, I played, you know what I mean, and played a few games and doing all right, and then I ended up winning a ship. Quite lucky, I went to Squatherwood Senior Cup in '96 against Bradway. Chrissy Wildout manager.
Warrior?
Yeah, Chrissy Wildout manager. So we beat Jags in semi-final.
We were fine with that.
It were at Freshfield in Sheffield.
Right, which used to be a carpet,
beautiful.
Didn't it?
It's got cricket pavilion at the top, weren't it?
Yeah.
Cricket pitch. So it's 11 o'clock Sunday morning, Senior Cup final, and obviously we were young kid, like 17, 18 at the time. And I always played from a lot of games in the league, and we was on part of the squad in final and stuff. So played Bradway, Blades, aren't they? So Chrissy Wilder, I think we were playing at Blades at the time, but managed his team on a Sunday morning. And Ticky Peters, Kev Taylor, ex Wednesday Eye, ex-captain under Jackie Charlton. He'd have been mid-30s, Ticky. And they kicked out on him, calling him all names up soon as you can imagine. And they were miles better than shipping final. And he somehow held the kid off in 90+4 and put him, Chris Shaw, Geordie? Yeah. Chris Shaw, top player.
I saw him so much.
Get him on, mate, would be a different perspective from North East, top player, because he moved down in his mid-20s. He scored winning at 90+6, and we ended up beating Bradway 1-0 and winning Senior Cup. And that worked Freshfield. Yeah. And you see Sheffield Cup this year, Sunday Senior Cup this year. It's where's it at? It's an artificial pitch.
It's at that Legacy Park.
On artificial grass?
Yes.
Yeah. So,
there's enough pictures around.
So the Saturday Senior Cups are...
I think I'm online for that, by the way. I think I'm online. I've been invited to what they call it, to this week, it's Thursday. So
Worksop Allen, that, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. So I did one at quarterfinals early on the season. And then they've like all senior all cups in Sheffield area. All officials who were on have been invited to a meeting at New York Stadium on Thursday, and then they announced like Sheffield Senior Cup, who works at Allen. The officials are bang, bang, bang. So I'm presuming I'm on that. So because I can't referee, I would like to referee Sunday Senior Cup final, but because others do, I can't because
AFP others like that.
AFP. I referee them preaching on the good side. You've got some players on some decent cash.
Yeah.
I referee them at start seeing the brilliant of the lads as well.
They've done well, haven't they?
They've done really well, haven't they?
Yeah.
But it seems a bit tainted because it's an artificial pitch.
Yeah, there's been loads of, it's been well documented that. Yeah, loads. And to be fair, rightly so.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the one as you're playing, even with your Saturday sides, you want to get to that senior cup because it's your local region. And not only that, you play a programme. It's always been that.
Well, we won it with Roystonship in '96 at Freshfield.
Yeah.
And then, but when our manager at Royston Ringer Bells, when we won it in 2008, we won it at Bramall Lane.
Yeah.
And Chicky played up front for us. So I packed. So obviously missing a bit out here, but so started playing local football as you do. Played with numerous teams. Played with Longwood. Decent stories about playing me down with Longwood and that on my eyes. That made me a man. Do you know what I mean?
How old would you have been then?
19.
Would you?
I was youngest player by about 10 years and made me a man playing with the likes of Neil Broadhead, what I play, Gary Drury, Middle Park, Winning Show, Knocker, Finchy, Dodger, Moffat, Goal. Rousey packed in there. Yeah, he done that. He done. He could play, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He done by then. And I went in at young centre back. I think my first game I played against Alice Red, when I was a young kid. And I played it back with Pete Jobins, Andy Jobins' father. Yeah. So young Andy or Mike, I also played with Andy and Mike. Brilliant. Great goalkeeper, great wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
So at half time, we used to go with nets when about 10, 11 years old with gloves on and that. And my first ever game, we played at Addersey, not Sheerian Park, we played at Old Edward Sheerian School.
Yeah.
We hammered them 9-0. I remember one of their players just clocked me off ball, bang. Young lad, picked on me like, so I comes round in dust. And I comes around, and next corner comes in. There's one of the kids spark out. Pete Jobin stood up at the top and he touched one of our fucking players. sorry, Pete. And that's when I proper fell in love with Sunday morning football then, because I was playing with the best side, and it proper opened my eyes to Sunday morning football. Because you're playing, if you didn't do your job, you got dug out big time. There's some big characters in that side. You know, some top. Do you remember Dave Bestie for Hemsworth?
Yes.
He's one of the best I've ever played with. Unbelievable.
Gary Drury.
What a player.
You know what we're talking about, like Sunday League now, so I can remember watching the Joker of the 90s, early 2000s, which were top side.
Barnsley Trades, remember that?
Yeah, and obviously we had Ilson with Jags and stuff like that.
Jags are quality.
Well, lads still when I getting pissed at Ratast on a Saturday, or were it that serious back then? We just talked earlier on, we were mentioning it before, saying like 9 divisions, and it were like shit hot. It weren't like...
You see it now, so Barnsley Sunday League got 3 leagues now, and they've just grown this year, they've got a 3rd division, which is brilliant, so hopefully it's on the rise again, because you need it, don't you? It's good for your mental health, isn't it? If that died, you're knackered, aren't you? And Barnsley Sunday League's given me everything.
Yeah.
Because when I started refereeing, I decided to pack in playing. I got injured, and I got injured in the Army, funnily enough, and playing football for Army national team. I've gone for an header, I've had the kids clip my heels, and I've come down horizontally and shattered my rotator cuff, and that used to come out all the time. So I'm out injured, so I started refereeing, bizarrely, and I lost my mum last week, really sad day yesterday. So yeah, thank you, mate. So she got me into refereeing. Right. So I'm out watching the Sunday morning game, Ringer Bell's second team, and I've got my arm in a sling, as you don't want, because I'd had my 3rd surgery on it, and playing Wusbert time.
Lord Nelson.
Oh yeah, Lord Nelson. Yeah. I'm playing Wusbert time, and I've done it the day before, Wusbert versus Shirewood. And that one probably last at a Northern Counties game. And I remember dressing him after the game. I always remember I had a yellow kit on, because I remember I think it was Charlie who just lost it the last couple of years. I remember taking it back, because when I got taken to hospital, they had to cut it. Yeah, they had to cut my shirt off. So to put my shoulder back in, he was fuming because I took my shirt back. Because it was cutting out. But I remember saying, so I'm in the dressing room after the game, and my shoulders come out and I'm saying to the lads, look, I think you can help me put it back in. So I'm talking to 2 or 3 lads, and 2 or 3 lads are being sick. I said, come on, help me. And Charlie says, you better bring that shirt back and go down. So this is in Mansfield, by the way. So Bowie's manager, Bowie and Billy, Alan Billingham, and Darryl Bowman manager. So they've dropped me outside the hospital, dumped me off my kit. And my missus has come and met me up there, so you have to cut your shirt off, so cut it on in hospital for 2 days, have it put back in. And so I'm refereeing my first ever game, so I'm down watching no referee's turn, got my arm in a sling. Referee quite enjoyed it, quite proud of myself, so I give a back pass, really pleased with myself, keeper picked it up. And then from resulting back pass, kids just smashed it into the net. I'm thinking, well, it's got to touch somebody else, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's not touched them, so I disallowed it and get a goal kick. And I thought, I think I'm right. And nobody whinged. And I looked it up and I thought, I am right. So anyway, it's got to be story. So I'm at my mum's the Friday after. I still got my arm in a sling. And I'm just reading Chronicle. And we start at back, don't we? Always start at back. We never start at front. Always start at back.
Yeah.
Am I in?
Yeah.
Is there a mention?
Yeah. So
better starting at front.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at Chronicle.
Crime report.
Yeah. So I'm looking at Chronicle, looking at all the scores you do, and looking at write-ups and that. And my mum says, referee's course there. It's like a little
Square.
Yeah, little square, referee's course, 10 quid Barnsley College. So you refereed, didn't you, last week? He says, yes, why don't you take it? Because are you going to play any higher than your level Northern Counties? Why don't you try refereeing? And I'm like, I suppose. So it cost me 10 quid. It was an 8-week course, 2 hours a week, so 16 hours, like, good maths. Yeah. So I ended up...
Don't ask me if I was.
So I ended up reffing and really enjoying it. So I thought, so I refereed Saturdays but still played Sundays. And because Barnsley League were quality winning Saturdays. Yeah. Because that's what they call it, the supply league status now. The county seniors got that. Barnsley Sunday Saturday league. We had Nelson League. We had really all kinds of quality leagues, didn't we, Saturday? And the standard were really good. And then so I refereed Saturdays and played Sundays. And after 1 year, I thought, I might have a chance at this, you know. So I thought, I need to put all my eggs in one basket. And I was lucky for Rob at Ringer Bells. We had a really good side, like Rob Landon, who was assistant manager at us in now, like. So I said, look, I'm packing in. I'm taking up reffing. And he was disappointed, but he said, yeah, good luck, like, you know what I mean? And I helped him out, I did a lot of the friends. I still stayed in touch with the club. And then after 2 years reffing, and went pretty quickly, so we started as level 7 as a ref. So I was pretty lucky. In my first full season, I went from level 7 to level 4, which is equivalent to what the guys that you'll get at Northern Counties now are level 4 ref, so I went really quickly. It helped because I played a bit, I had a bit of knowledge.
You're better than them, aren't you?
Probably. I tell you what, I'll probably get some shit for this, and I don't care. I don't care. We talk about how good Barnsley Sunday League is, and we just mentioned it. When I was growing up, it's unbelievable. The level now, and I think I've got a reason why I don't think it's as good as it used to be. It's probably Division 6, Division 7 now, the Barnsley top league, compared to when we played.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the reason is because when we played, you go out at 7. We used to meet 7 at 7 on a Saturday when I played with Longwood and that. So we meet at 7 at 7, and then we'll go out of town, and then you go on at 1 o'clock, make your own way home. So you're home at a decent time, so you've got 6-7 hours sleep, and you turn up in a decent shape.
I know you will. Once they extended the licence.
They don't go out till 11 o'clock.
They don't go out till 11.
No, I don't. And they're drinking at home.
That's it. And the steam when they go out, because it's hot cheap.
Yeah.
They're walking out at 11.
Yeah.
Because when me and Alice go out on Saturday when I've got a
4,
weekend
5,
off, they
6
come home at 11.
o'clock, 4, 5, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, that's it. And then they're turning up drunk. And you know, it's like, you're in bed a little bit rough hangover, you're thinking, I'm going to get up, it's January, it's freezing. I'll stay in bed. So that's why I think over time, the standards got worse, which...
I agree with you. I think everywhere has as well. I
Yeah.
think you made a Wall League, I think you're Rotherham League.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of things. I think they because I were in Old Town.
Of course, yeah, that's right.
At the same time as that came in, we got like sort of half and half lads at 20 odd, 28 to 32-ish, fresh young lads.
Yeah.
28 to 32-ish were there every week.
Yeah.
Young lads, I'm on my way home.
In miss.
Do you know what I mean? I'm still on my way
I'll turn
home.
up,
Football's hard enough, but playing it drunk, it's got to be a lot tougher. I think, you know what I mean? It's hard work.
And then I think, obviously, then.
Said to Brett last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
What we like is pissed on a Sunday because he played a lot of Sunday. He said, "I'm great." I'm horrendous.
Awful.
It's absolutely terrible. Yeah.
I can't think of doing all physical drunk. Oh
No.
Can't think of it. It's hard work. It's hard work running around as it is when you're sober, isn't it?
Jog home from town. Because taxi.
Yeah. Because you just want to go and go to bed, don't you? One of the main players we set West Betton up was a Sunday morning football team, and they're still going all right.
Yeah.
We've probably got 2 teams a little bit too early. After the season, we ended up with 2 teams. Again, we had 40 odd players. Yeah. So I spent all day Friday and we set this team up just after COVID, ringing lads, it's squad tomorrow, it's squad this weekend, it's squad. And it looked crap. So lads thought, well...
He's running line up, Trev, by the way.
Yeah. In the middle of the pitch, yeah. Check it, goal line, comms and that. You're not picked tomorrow, you're not picked. So then we decided to set 2 teams up.
Did you make that call to Lockie a few times? Or?
No, well, Lockie come in season after when we had 2 teams. He's decent, Lockie. I can't pick him one. He's always badgering me for Premier League football, bless him. He's always badgering me. I'll get him one, I promise I will. I'm going to be through his passport, I'll sort him out. But yeah, so then we started and I got massively into me being super competitive. I'm probably a little bit too keen at times. And I'd be up at pitch at 8 in the morning, marking it out, you know what I mean? And I says, time's kick off, 11. It's 10 to 8, where are you going? And I get home at 3, you know what I mean? So that a bit of a strain on us, like. But I loved it, I'm obsessed with it, because I don't play anymore. And I do miss that, you know what I mean? Because I packed in playing at 26, because my shoulder.
Yeah, but I think that's...
And what it caused you a problem?
45 times it come out.
Did it?
The first 20 odd I could just pop it back in, and then after the last 20 odd, it ended up impossible for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
And it was, I'd jump for an header, it'd be out. You know what I mean? Somebody, I'd go down for a tackle, get stuck into it, it'd come out, and then...
Not ever get Mel Gibson.
I used to put it back all the time. I used to bob it back all the time, and it used to hurt like hell. I used to bob it back. They said the last time it come
Because he was my first manager ever Sunday morning playing for Ryle. First ever team talk in men's football. I created it from shitter because he'd been for an Indian.
That's okay.
We do a line up and just 13.
It said so. I ended up at Worsborough. Mark Grundy was the second team manager.
Yes.
So when I went to Worsborough, I played one game with second team, with reserves or whatever, twos or reses, whatever. And then I ended up in first. And then that's how I ended up playing with Longwood, because I played with Moff and that. And it was Scoff and Paddy were managers.
Yeah.
And we had I think we finished second or third. And we were on verge of promotion, but they could never go because obviously, you know, it's like we road, they'd have to build the stand and stuff or whatever. I don't know ins and outs.
Cricket.
Cricket as well, obviously, which is obviously with the logistics with that. And then obviously played down there, because a young lad, 19, playing down there, and I always remember, never played Dunlop Lights before, and there was always a group of old gadgets sat in stand at top like corner and just gave me dogs abuse, you know what I mean? Dogs, absolute dogs. And I enjoyed it, that's why I've done it like. But we were a good side. Ian Reefer played, he was a good player. He played with Longwood with me on Sundays, and that's how I ended up at Longwood. Because Moss could play with Longwood with me and ended up down there. But I was obsessed. I probably enjoyed Sunday morning football more than I did Saturday. Saturday was good because you went to all over the place. You know, you did some great time, you played some really nice grounds, but I love Sundays. Probably all they were winning most weeks.
I think you think with Sundays, and again, another thing that's not there anymore. You play Athersley away, you go into Athersley Sports Centre, you'd have 2 pints, then you go down to Royston.
Yeah.
Where you'd always caught, both teams did it, they drink together, then go separate ways.
Royston had 15 teams when I was growing up.
Did it?
15. And some clubs had 2 teams. Like obviously when I played with York Craig, they had 2 teams at Royston Women's Club. When we were playing women, and I always remember we had like black and red stripe kit on. And if you go in Cross now, there's a couple of pictures, yeah. And because they obviously played with Cross when they won at top sides as well, because he was one of the best players in town, Craig, weren't he? He'd been out the night before. He said you did first team shot, sat on shitter. And I remember, so I'm playing centre back, like, and I'm only young, I mean, late teens again, like. And I remember him like he'd been out me before and skipping. He was still best player. In the middle of the park, just giving it to him, and he's on half turn, and he's playing people in, he's keeping people away from the ball, and just keeping me out, look after it. And you could see he was a bit green from the night before. And for some bizarre reason, he's out wide, like. I mean, what's he doing out there? And so he gets ball, and full-back's a little bit lazy, and he don't. We call it press now, don't they? We used to call it closing down back in the day. We call it the press now, the counter press. He was closing down, weren't he? He's not closing down, this kid. And he's been sick, Craig, and he's been sick on ball. and we're like, what's happened there? He's just going to stop game, and then he put Cross in. Yeah. So you can imagine, luckily I'm a defender. Exactly, no, luckily I'm a defender, and you can see this ball coming in front of Pig Farms, because Pig Farm used to stink, it used to absolutely reek, but it was like an home advantage, you got used to it, like a sickly type sweet smell, weren't it? I always remember this ball, might have multiplex game, whipped into the box, covered in sick, and you could just see sick coming off this ball. And it was like Moses' party at Red Sea, everybody's running out of the way, and I'm thinking, this is Sunday morning football for me, and I fell in love with it, and I still love it now. And like I said, I start with this conversation we're going to probably get some shit. I reckon I could still play Sunday morning in top division. I reckon I could, because I'm as fit as anybody. Yeah. And I would never quick anyway, so I always had it in my head. So I'm probably as fast as I was when I was 18. Probably know the game a lot better. I'll probably take 3 or 4 days to recover, like I do now. Like when I come back to the training, I've got one of them ice baths. Yeah. So I'm sat in that when I get back, listening to one of my podcasts.
Still enjoy it.
Oh, it's quality, but I do miss it massively. Yeah. And I'd love to play. And when we set West Bretton, we trained up at Vida, and we played 5-a-side and stuff. And I got 1 or 2 knocks. And I thought, if I get injured playing up here, my bosses will kill me. So I stopped. Yeah. But I do miss it. Because that's why I got back into cricket, because I'm a competition junkie. Yeah. I just want to I play badminton with my mate and we've been nearly killing each other because we're obsessed with winning. That's why we're talking with refereeing. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed. I study. It's like when I got into refereeing, I was like watching Premier League games and like making notes, thinking, why is referee stood there? You know what I mean? And it's worked me out all right. It's worked out all right. And obviously, me playing, I've not played at a decent level, no one counts. Play for British Army.
100% at the level.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Just like personalities and stuff. Reading people and
That's
things
it.
like that.
That's the biggest challenge now. You see, the two biggest challenges now, I think, for referees, you guys involved, obviously, good levels of football now. The two biggest challenges referees have got now is that dealing with people, because the demographic of referees are coming now a lot younger. When we played, and you were a lot younger, the referees are a little bit more senior blokes.
Yeah.
And senior people who have more life experience now. Referees, because they're coming through the system so quick. You got lads refereeing in Northern Counties at 20, and you're dealing with some lads who want decent money, and trying to manage them, and it's hard work.
100%.
So dealing with difficult characters, which is not easy, and then when I said to people about refereeing, what advice could you give me on this? I said, just watch football, just be obsessed with it.
But I also think other hand, even then the mid-20s to 30s, because there's a lack of the promoter too soon as well.
That's
without
it, yeah.
being physically fit enough. Without
No, the counties are difficult.
We had a bloke online the other week. I forget his name. I've had him a couple of times, and he'll be 60 up.
Yeah.
And as a linesman, he were behind a little bit with player, and that's that's just how it is. But his attitude to us as a bench, were like a breath of fresh air. And what I mean by that is, he's like, if I said, "Didn't you see that?" he might turn around and go, "Yeah." And he were like,
what can you say about
exactly?
Yeah.
And he were like, we'd look at each other and go, can't say up to him because he's just been honest with you, So
I get some grief every now and again that when I'm technical area side, which I am tomorrow and I am Saturday, I'm at Everton, Arsenal Saturday, and because I've been around for so long, so it's in the 16th season of Premier League this year, all the senior managers know me. You know what I mean? So they ask me stuff that they don't traditionally ask other assistant referees, because we're saying we've got a lot of quality officials coming through, and I'm one of the most senior. I'm not the oldest by a long way, but I'm one of the most senior.
100%, yeah.
And so they ask you stuff, and the worst, there's nothing more that boil your piss and your piss more than somebody who just totally blanks you. And I said to him, I'll be back in a minute, I'll answer him. And I won't give him an honest answer. I said, you're probably right, might have got it wrong, but he's closer than us. So I've got to kind of trust him and think, yeah, he probably has dropped a ball there, but hey, these things happen. If you totally blank him, you're just going to piss him off even more. And you will get it. Like
the problem with, and we've had a lot of good lines, I'll probably say that, but a lot of good ones, management side.
Yeah.
When they're saying, waiting for a torrid afternoon today.
When they obviously regarding the referee that they're working with. We spoke about it earlier, because we're lucky that we work together in teams. So when I first got up to Premier League in 2009, so my first game was September 2009. I'd only been on Football League line 2 years. To talk about packed in football at 26, because I thought, like I said, I'm obsessive, I'm going all in here, all in. So, first season refereeing Sunday morning football. How old are me? You might not know how old. You probably know him. He's died now, bless him. He's died. He refereed top flight in England in 60s, 70s, and 80s. So refereed all top clubs in Division 1 and that. And he said to me when I first started refereeing, so I started refereeing and went to RA meeting because I thought, well, I'll play a bit, and I thought, oh, I don't know. So I spoke to a referee when I was still playing Sunday morning. So we have RA meetings on a Thursday, but ours in house was gone now, isn't it? So I goes up there and old guys with blazers on the ties and that. He said, you still play, you legend? I said, I do a bit, and he's part of him. It's okay. I'm thinking, as I'm considering it.
What, as in?
Ability-wise, yeah.
See you play.
He probably know all of that. But he did say to me, he says, if you can referee in Barnsley, you can referee anywhere. And I tell you what, he'll be 100% right.
Yeah.
And it's even more now, because it's more challenging now. I said, the two biggest problems that we start this conversation with that referees have now is, and I never had, I dealt with people. I've been a soldier, I've been in the army for 7 years. I could talk to people, deal with people and stuff. Because you've had jobs and you've got life, you played a bit of football and you can talk to people and stuff. But they're pushing them through now and they're doing really good, because there's the golden carrot to get to the Premier League, and you can make an absolute wonderful fortune if you're lucky enough to get there, which is amazing. But you look at it now, is that you can referee again. We spoke about One Main and with Terry Simon, and that thing that you do on Channel, what Grayson does, I think it's fantastic. It's brilliant. I think it's a wonderful insight into local football.
Yep.
And I think it's really good. But now as a referee, when I'm a referee Barnsley Sunday on morning football, I could have had an absolute shocker. The two teams are not a shocker, and I would. Nobody else would. Now you make a mistake. At most clubs, it's on the internet, and you'll get every man and his dog commenting. So I'm on a load of referees forums. So I'm on Facebook, because obviously we're a bit more relaxed at our job now. We can have social media as long as we post stuff about football, which is really positive, which we always do. So I'm on a load of referees forums, and I'm watching all kinds of levels from all of England. Tackles going in, players berating referees, all kind. What's your opinion on this penalty? Is it inside? Is it out? So every referee now coming through the system has got a trial by video.
Yeah.
When that you only get that. My first ever live game coming through systems. I've been refereeing 4 years at a time. Well, Morecambe versus York playoff semi-final second leg conference. Sammy McElroy got Morecambe match.
Yeah.
And I'd never done a live game before, so I'd never seen myself back. And it's your best tool to learn from that.
Well, you're in middle now, you're
online. So I'm dug outside, so the camera's far side. So I got to watch myself back, and I thought, oh, I like that, or I don't like that. Why is me flagging that position? And I learned to load by watching that back. And my mum, bless her, she bought Sky that week. She never had Sky. She never had it because she knew I want TV, and she's paid £100 ever since. My mum. So, Mum, no, I'll give you money. No, I'm paying it myself. It's my gift to me to watch you on games. And I learned so much.
Did you get any freebies?
No, I didn't. Bless it. So I learned so much, but now you see, I've got one of my own video cameras that I bought for West Breton, and I've got it at home. And it's a brilliant tool. It's great for learning your positioning, why have you made this decision, why are you in that position. But now, the only kind of stuff you don't say what a great penalty decision is on social media. It's just all controversial. I've seen some tackles on social media this year. There's been two up at One two of the worst I've ever seen. Ever seen. Both yellows. And it's like, and this poor old referee now, I've probably made similar decisions going through the system. And it's my word against theirs. I probably know myself, I probably dropped a bollock there. But there's only me who remembers it. I can remember loads of the decisions I've made now.
Yeah.
I remember doing a game years ago, and I mentioned it before. So my first season as a ref, and we only mentioned this other night because I was out having a drink with Mrs. Saturday. We dropped on a kid, a guy called Ken Barcliffe, you might not know him. Dropped on his son, James. And so my first season as a ref, I've gone all in as I am. All in. Done football, Rob. I'm all in, saying, lads, I'm obsessed, I'm making notes, I'm watching as much football as I can. Last game of the season, so Barnsley Sunday League changed. It went from Division 1 to 9 to Premier League, 1A, 1B, 2A, 2B, like a bit of a pyramid system. Yeah. So the winners of 1A and 2A went into Premier League, 2 up, 2 down. One winner that way for each division. I've got last game of the season. Now, this is Longwood, my old club, changed a little bit, because obviously all their senior players had packed in and stuff. It was still the same club, Longwood Leyland, against New Lodge, local derby, Thursday night. I was best mark referee in my first season. He told I've played a bit, still familiar to all players, so I've got looked after marks wise. And okay. Guy Joe's playing sweeper gas, running show. He's in the mid-40s, still running show. So he dropped for the back, striker, midfield.
As you do.
Yeah, he's a sweeper. I think the only position he played with went in goal.
And if you don't know, guys, the further back he's got, it looks like he was stood more in holes as well.
Oh, he got small.
I'm sure he was 6 foot when he was 8.
Well, I watched him at Addersale 45 last year, and he must be 60 now, guys, and he run the show. He absolutely run the show. They play 3 at back, and he's just sweeper-like. He's just absolutely getting it off keeper, pinging it. He was brilliant. So Gaz has played, so I've still got 2 or 3 lads who I know. A couple of young rouses are playing. And so Longwood need a point to get promoted to Premier League. New Lodge need a win. So I'm like, so I'm doing me like, okay, my preparation, I'm not playing this today. First tackle, I'm all over it. Very naive. So first tackle goes in after 2 minutes, so I yell as a kid. Bang. I probably should have let it breathe a little bit. But as soon as I've gone that and I've set that standard, that is the standard today, boys. Anything similar, you ain't saying. So that's my line in the standard. Half time, I've had 10 yellers.
Is that what I threw at shouts when
honestly.
saying that's it, you've seen you standing there.
Exactly that. Oh, what about that one?
Yeah.
And they're awful tackles.
Yeah.
So half time, I'm thinking, I think I've gone a bit too early here.
He's put that many shoulders come out of it.
Well, that's like caution with my left hand. That's when my yellow carry with my left pocket. So I've ended up with 10 yellers. And my missus is down watching. She's got me 2 dogs like. And she's thinking, what the fucking hell's going on? Because I'm getting fucking pelted.
Absolute dogs.
And it's 1-0 to Longwood at the time. They're winning league. They're going up. So game kicks off and I settle it down. So I thought, right, what would I do? If I still keep letting it breathe, I might end up, because it gets to the stage as a ref, yellow cards don't work anymore.
Yeah. So
you've got to find a red. Because if you keep yellowing, it's not getting the message across. So you need a red. So I think, right, I'm just gonna kill everything. Just kill it, just absolutely kill it. Somebody breathed on somebody foul, somebody looks at somebody on foul. So I killed the game, ended up with 4 yellows, and it worked all right. 1-0 88th minute. Longwood going up, they've got touchline and all celebrating. One touchline is full of all Longwooders, others all New Lodge lads, load of neutrals, like chock-a-block, like massive crowd. Sunday morning football, even though it was Thursday night. So they make it 1-1, the New Lodge, after 88 minutes. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So all Longwood lads asking me, how long left? I said, well, there's a couple of minutes left, obviously we're going to play at a time. But a point's enough for them, still enough, so they're trying to slow game down. So they've got a go kick in added time. So you just pump it long. And they tried to play out from back. And I think it's one of the houses that had a heavy touch and took the ball back into his own penalty area. Just a striker nips in and he trips him up. So I just goes, as a reflex, just gone, probably in hindsight, even though it's a stolen penalty, probably in hindsight, I probably should have looked all the way. But I took carnage, pandemonium. So it's 90+1. New Lodge have got a penalty to win league. So anyway, I calms everybody down. I think I'm on 15 yards at this stage. So anyway, I'm making a fun. But that's daft. That. Well, Barnsley Fade don't get any more. No, it's just called the county, isn't it? So, but Minute County is good books. But so anyway, so.
Make London get it rather than
Good fortune. Went to Las Vegas in 2000. So I've counted everybody down. I'm thinking, fuck, it's going to be carnage this. So I'm kind of hoping that he missed, but I can't know about that. So kids steps up, scores, wheels away celebrating. As he turns around to see all his teammates celebrating, nobody had come. And the first person he saw was Gary Zuri, who just banged him. Just absolutely just went crack and just dropped him like a bad habit. I said, I'm sorry guys, send you off. He said, I'm sorry Scott. I said, don't apologise to me, apologise to him, you broke his nose. So Gaz went off, said, Gaz, how long left? This is Gaz, obviously he apologised. How long left? 4 minutes at a time. So now Longwood need a goal.
And they're down to 10.
So
best player.
Best player, yeah. So all pandemoniums because all fans are on pitch, New Lodge. Fuck's sake. So anyway, 4 minutes. Fucking hell.
Looking over to their last thing.
Gets to us to it. Well, I'll get to that. So anyway, the kick off and they just knock ball out wide. Just get it. Just knock it back to one at central midfield. Just pings it into left fullback area's corner. And Gary Chambers, I played with Gaz. And he was a bit part player for Longwood. He a good sub. He come on, got us a few important goals, but he didn't play much. But then, because he was senior player in that team, he played most weeks. And ball's still in play, and he just left ball, and I couldn't understand it. I'm like, what's he doing? And he just run off pitch and just punched New Lodge manager. Just run straight into the middle of the crowd and just punched him. And then you can imagine. So I'm thinking, so I'm blowing my whistle, bite it, end of my whistle off, and just look up my right shoulder, and there's every man and his dog come charging across the line. So I blow for full time, and I'm getting dogs who said there 4 minutes left. And so anyway, started the conversation. Ken Balacliffe. So he was a local referee, and he looked after our lass because our lass would get death threats, threatening to kill me dogs. Because I thought I had a really good relationship with Longwood, which I thought I did. I think I still have now with lads. I got changed in their dressing room. In Lane End Club, little back room, right? Obviously, you know, watch travel in the kit. So I goes back to the dressing room, and my flags have been snapped in half. I didn't get the 12 quid I should have been paid, £12 a game by the way. And my bag had been absolutely smashed to bits, and I mean, so I had an old Motorola phone that was smashed to bits in my bag. I think one of my t-shirts were travelling were ripped up, thrown in the corner.
Well, it was my shirt, wasn't it?
No, it weren't, no. I still had scissors for that though. But you talk about learning on the job.
Well, you just said that, and you're like, what gives that advice? Were you just thinking?
No, just me thinking how to, because obviously, if every game were easy, everybody would be a Premier League ref, but it's not. And you see some at top refs now, like, and we've got some great refs, and Michael Oliver's my favourite, and I've worked with some at best of all time. Howard Webb, Mark Clattenburg.
Yeah, I don't mind Michael. I think he's fairly consistent. And
well, I think Michael's our best, and Anthony Taylor's a great ref as well. They're our two most senior refs. I think Michael is our best ref because he's a bit like me. He's obsessed with football. I mean, obsessed. He's a massive Newcastle fan. I think he's still drunk after last week. He didn't go to parade on Sunday though. He said he wasn't going, but he's obsessed with football. He'll like when I go to a game, I'll watch Newcastle all over the country, all over Europe, because he's just obsessed. And I'll not just watch Newcastle games, I'll watch it. And that's how, if you're going to get on, you've got to be obsessed with it. And that's
like, obviously, your mum, bless her. What about her saying go under that course?
Oh, honestly, mate, we are there. I would have done it. I would not have done it. £10 course.
So you must obviously seen you coming after that game, you ref.
Yeah.
I've just gone.
I
And
fancy
you thought, he's enjoyed that. I've seen some. I've seen this advert and gone. Go
£10
on,
it cost me.
10
Because I'm ex-military as well. Because a lot of lads who do my job, you get a lot of ex-coppers. So you've got that kind of disciplinary background.
Yeah.
And obviously you need that if you're dealing with people, dealing with conflict, aren't you? And obviously you've got to have a certain amount of discipline yourself. So that clearly helped my background. And she said to me, fancy it, and then I did the course, really enjoyed it because I'm obsessed with laws again. Yeah. So I'm reading this book, you know what I mean, and I'm obsessed with it. I think, I didn't know that.
I'm still laughing back around the fact that that back pass.
Oh, honestly.
You just like the ball and thought, I've done the right thing.
Yeah, when you get...
Can you imagine it?
But
I'm sure and he only takes that little
I've given so many decisions, you know. So, some of the best decisions I've ever given, I've not realised I've given them. They just come from my gut. And it's like, you've shot from hip. I've given loads of penalties. I once gave a penalty on Premier League from halfway line, which is another story. But and you give something, you think, shit, I'm flagging a pen, because it just comes from your gut and you haven't got time to process it. As soon as you've got time to process a decision and you think about it, you doubt yourself, you might not go through it.
Yeah, really funny that when Neville and Carragher tried it.
They come to our camp a few years ago. That'd be shockers, weren't they?
Absolutely
Shockers.
horrendous. But it was so funny because obviously they've played game. They've probably been ones getting all this, Arsenal offside trap, step up as one and all that. But when they got on that, there was one, I think it was Neville, where he went bump.
In 5 yards on side.
The Carragher pissing his in right when you've got that. They were playing it back on monitor, weren't they? It was fucking mad.
So,
have you ever done it?
No.
I've done kids. I've done it 5-side league. We played Etworth, middle of the season.
what a nice ground that is, by the way.
No, we played at Worsborough.
Oh, it's a shame, because that's
It
what
was lovely.
Yeah.
We played at Worsborough, and Derrida was supposed to ref. Somehow you a couple of hours on the time.
Yeah,
So
of
you
course,
ref.
yeah.
Do you want to do it? No, I'm alright. I ended up reffing it. Etworth versus Worsborough.
Yeah. So you refed it, not online, refed it.
Ref,
All right.
I'll do lot.
Yeah.
No linesman, no.
But ins and outs, and like
yeah,
just
just
like it.
And it takes you to another level of respect for him, because as much as I'll be honest, I do slaughter him at times, but it must be easy with linesman, because as I'm following the ball there, you just hear something out you know. Well, fucking come on, then. And I said, Ralph, fucking forwards just got under each other, fucking trying to have a ding dong. And I'm like, what's that?
Where's that come from?
Yeah, where's that come from?
Well,
What's that?
Yeah.
Could be something else
Yeah,
happening,
yeah.
bloody crowd,
It is.
people encroaching on the pitch.
But that's because you've not done it before and you're refereeing decent players. So obviously when I started refereeing, I'm refereeing Sunday morning football. So sorry, Saturday Barnsley Sunday League. Saturday League, sorry. Then went Sunday League and then went pretty quickly. I'm on Northern Counties, Premier League, Northern, what they call it, I think Unibomb sticks, Unibomb when I was refereeing.
Yeah.
And I think I've still got the Unibomb balls that long. I can put a red stripe around it.
Yeah,
that's the one, yeah.
There's only a few players able to play with them.
But obviously, they're lovely.
Others don't like them, though, do they? I actually love them. We've got one in Bagot. It's
Lovely balls.
I think it's Maynell.
They're better than the Mitres, aren't they? The Mitres
I
are
think
boys,
so.
yeah.
Mitres just shit.
So you come through the system, and then it's like, what else? You learn by doing something. And the more you do something, the better you get, especially if you do it properly.
Yeah.
And so you come through the system. Like, I talked about earlier, this stuff that I mentioned one main, all that content that they put on, which is unbelievable. It's fantastic what they put on. And I must admit, I love their videos coming through, because I'll get my iPad out and I watch it and I love it because it's really good.
And it's local.
And because you know him.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
So you invested because you know the characters like. I'm that old, I played against him. So coming through the system back then, you learn your trade and stuff. And there's no doubt Alan made a lot of shocking decisions at the line-up. 100%, but nobody can remember because there were no cameras back then. Coming through, I said my first ever game was conference playoff semi-final, live on Sky. My first ever live game. First time I've ever seen this. And I would, obviously, I had 1 year on conference, got on Football League, 2 years on Football League. Before I know it, I'm on Premier League. And then obviously a bit more scrutiny, a lot more scrutiny, because you know it's like when you drop a ball and you come off and you look at your phone, you've got 400 text messages coming in as well. I've had it.
You've just cost me 20.
Honestly, I once gave a penalty years ago.
Picture it out, okay.
I gave a penalty years ago at Crystal Palace at 97th minute, and a random message from a guy, didn't know him, must have got the number from somewhere. you've cost me £500 getting that penalty, absolute so-and-so. I know where you live, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm like, oh, okay. So we reported that as you do. You know what I mean? But honestly, that's what it's like. But you talk about you've never done it then. But you get used to it, you know what I mean? It's like,
oh yeah.
I say this to people and they can't get their heads around it. So I'm online at Premier League and we talk about it and you're watching and the crossover and you think, what about Neville and Kelly making all the shocking decisions? I listen football. I don't look at ball. No. When I see a player pull his foot back, especially if they knock a long pass, and you know it's coming, I listen for it being kicked. So then I'm thinking, right, okay, he's pulling his foot back, so I'm thinking he's going to be kicking the ball in the next half a second or so. Yeah. And then I'll focus on second most defender and attacker, and I'll listen for it. So I can make it, because if you're like that,
and you must be proper in the zone there, Scott.
Oh yeah.
60 odd, 70,000 people in the crowd, and all that, they're like, screaming and shouting. You must be like, I can still hear that.
It's a technique I've come up with.
Yeah, and it works really well because that game, I know it were only friendly, whatever, but
you get the book. The referee's course in a few weeks. Fancy.
the positions I were in.
A player's position.
Yeah. I got glad and lucky saying, fuck
shit. Get out of my way.
Fucking clear too.
Fucking clear too. Put dents in once, aren't we?
But that's where they get, I feel for some of our refs, especially the last few years where obviously Pep's coming and the way that football's played now. We're probably moving away from that a little bit more, this possession-based stuff, aren't we?
Yeah.
That City had so much possession, it was difficult for a referee to stay out of the way. Because 90% of games in an opponent's side, unless they're playing Liverpool who went toe-to-toe with City all the time and it'll be end-to-end. But and so as a referee, it's difficult to stay out of the way. One of my old bosses when I first got on Premier League, when my first boss on Premier League was Keith Ackey. He's a top man at Pennis today. He was my first boss. So he promoted me, Keith, so thanks for that, Keith. Then Mike Riley took over. And Mike Riley was one of the best ever, the way he could see a game develop, the way he could sweep up and stay out of people's way. And I never remember Riley ever getting it with the ball.
Early on, I was playing with Stocksbridge. Probably you definitely left a couple of pre-seasons.
2007-8,
yeah. Just flick your send back to that, and you were in middle then, weren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Standard of football. We know there's such a massive gap, but do you know in terms of like laws at games are still the same, and referees and linesmen will still get decisions wrong and right up and down the country, but you know in terms of like obviously your longevity in this top flight has been phenomenal. I was saying to you the other day where you're like every single time I see a top flight game on and it's Sky, you're online. And you've been on 16, 17 years.
16 seasons this year, yeah, full time.
Which is phenomenal.
My knees are feeling it at the minute, but one game back.
But what about that difference from a pro game to that non-league game? Or do you think that, well, you've quite rightly said the experiences you've had at these Sunday leagues, Saturday leagues have stood you in good stead probably for your career moving forward. Yeah. Is there many that's done that? Is there a lot more like assistant refs that have had that behind the Sunday league and fighting and scrapping and everything? But your projection will just bump like that.
I was quite lucky, so I refereed my first ever game in November 2003. When I disallowed that goal behind me sling. I took the course that month and got qualified early January 2004. And I got Premier League in 2009, June 2009, and then obviously I did my first Premier League game in September.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
So you can't do it that quick now. So I was really fortunate, so I went 74 in my first season, so I'm refereeing on county senior but running line at Northern Counties. Yeah. And then after my first season on county senior I went to level 3 and then I was refereeing, I bypassed the Northern Counties. And I was refereeing Union Bond, Conference North, Conference South. But then I was lining at conference. I didn't give a shit about lining. They weren't bothered in the slides. So we used to get us dates. It's different now. We used to get your dates for a month. You're lining on 3rd, reffing on 9th or whatever. I thought, lining on 3rd. And then I had a season on conference.
No, that's a bit middle line.
Yeah, I was passionate.
This is my burning question on when do you make that
choice.
Yeah.
So I was passionate about reffing. I still am. And then I never really bothered about lining. And then
did you feel like you were more involved in it?
Yes. I like the interaction of that. Excuse me, but I'm clearly better line I was in the ref because that's where I am now. So I had a year on conference as line and I kind of fell in love with it really. And then when I watched that game back, old Sky recorded it live, my mum was buzzing, subscribed to Sky and watched it live. I watched it back and I thought, I'm actually not bad at this. And so after one season on conference I got promoted to the Football League as a line-out. And I'm sure they set me up because my first ever game were Oldham Bristol Rovers. And I flagged the throw in after 30 seconds and my flag snapped. I thought they've set me up these guys.
You weren't them ones from Lundwood, were it?
Yeah. I think
Rouse is like that.
They're still stuck in ground down and learn about it. But and then I kind of thought, I'm actually not bad. So my first season on Football League as a line, I was talking pool of 200 lineouts. I finished top at merit table. I did 15 games, I think. Only 2 championship. My first ever championship game was bizarre. So it was Burnley Ipswich, first ever championship game. So I'm really excited, buzzing for it. Like, because back then you did like two pools of officials, or Football League officials, which were Championship League 1 and League 2, and then Premier League. So Premier League Select League 1. Yeah. And then it was just all Football League officials. So the Football League officials, the first championship game. So it was 2008, and I tell you exactly, I can't remember the day, but I think it was September time. Because it was Usain Bolt in Olympics in 2008, 100 metres final. And it was 3:30 final, so I'm gutted I'm going to miss it. We're all devastated. Yeah. So as we're walking out in corner at Turf Moor, you're walking out like, somebody from a parachute regiment were coming in with match ball. So you're jumping out of the plane like, they're doing is coming in with match ball, I'm not centre circle, get to referee, I'm going to kick off like.
Is this one when he misses?
He missed times, he goes straight through the roof and be above us. Ends up wrecking his tib and fib, smashing his kneecap.
We're at Turf Moor,
Turf Moor, straight through the roof above us. So we're
windy there though.
It is windy, yeah. and because all what they call it, all car park, what? Full, because there's cricket ground next door, isn't there? Jimmy Anderson's cricket club. Yeah. So they use that for parking, so they couldn't get ambulance in. So he was up there for the full game. So they delayed the kick-off for an hour, so I got to see 100 metres. So I thanked him for that. But he's a champion on Football League, and I told him, look, if you have a really good season against summer season, you're more than likely going to get promoted. And I did, I finished in top 5 and got promoted, and 1st of June 2009 got a really nice phone call, congratulations, promoted to Premier League, game changing for me, I got back in work, game changing. Yeah. So it's like winning the lottery overnight. So I'm on Premier League and you're doing it.
Because to be fair, and a lot of people just assume that you're full time, don't they? They don't realise that you're working and then travelling
No.
So the full-time officials in England now are all the Premier League refs,
yeah.
which is 21, all the Premier League lineouts, 29, 30 of them, and all the Championship refs, there's about 20 of them. That's it. So, and there's a couple of guys who are in the Elite Referees Development Programme who get a decent basic wage, and they're wanting to be pushed, and obviously rightly so, because they've been identified as talented officials, so they're going to get pushed through a little bit quickly, accelerate the promotion, but they're still going to perform. And then obviously the guys on League 1 and League 2 and the Championship lineouts, they're not full time, so they've got proper jobs. Yeah. But they'll still be on decent money match fee wise, and then there's obviously they're obviously negotiating and what they call it, juggling the normal life and being a match official at top level. Which is not easy.
Using a lot of holidays up.
100%.
And this could be anywhere in the country as well.
Well, you
this
know
is not just in a region, is it?
Well, Premier League this year, there's 3 rounds of midweek games, and there's 1 this week.
Yeah.
So majority of our games are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every now and again you get a Friday night game or Monday night game, which is a full-time job anyway, so there's no excuses. We have us a bag, we get told we're going somewhere when his fixtures come out on a Monday at 4.
Yeah. But nice guys.
Well, all kinds of times.
Thursday, Friday.
You know when you get 8 o'clock?
It's like a championship though, that now, isn't it? So
when you get 8 o'clock Saturday night gig in London, that's not the best. Not the best of games. But it is what it is. It's a full-time job. We're really lucky.
And I think we're all traditionalists, aren't we? And I look at them, you know, like Boxing Day. When there's an 8 o'clock kick-off on a Boxing Day.
Boxing Day. That's the only game I'm guaranteed to be at home on a night, because
they look after you.
It's really good. It's really good with us. Yeah. So I think I've stayed overnight once on Christmas night once, and I did Fulham, Liverpool a couple of years ago now, and they actually rung me. You're working with Andre. Obviously, go back a long way with Andre. Now I've done over 200 Premier League games with Andre, and he says we've got Andre because I lived in Birmingham. Andre, we've got Andre at Fulham on Boxing Day, 3 o'clock. Obviously, he wants to work with you. We work together as a team. We can keep you local, that's fine. You still have a Premier League game, but we'll keep you up north. But would you like to work with Andre? So, obviously, that's
asking your opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. So I made Christmas dinner, you know what I mean, and spent it with family, and set off to London at 9 o'clock. Didn't see a car till I got to London at 12.
Yeah.
So it was a nice drive, and that's the only time. So that's the only time you stay home. The dates that we look for is Omni Day weekend, Boxing Day, third round at Cup, and last game of the season. They're the 4 that you look. You know what I mean? They're the 4 games that you want to be involved in, and it's amazing. So anyway, I did my second season on Football League. Finishes in top 5 again, gets promoted, game changing. So when I got up Premier League, only 10 of us full time, 10 lineouts. So others were like refereeing, and was like, oh look, I want to be a specialist lineout. So I went in as a specialist and really enjoyed it. Is the
Fitness tests then.
I would have
As
gone
a
to that
full
fitness
timer
test.
and a part timer, different tests, or are they the part timers expected to be the same standard of fitness?
Similar
as a full-timer?
tests. Similar to, I'll talk you through them. Similar
Yeah.
tests, but different timings.
Right.
So the top level officials. So I'll talk you through the so we do similar, but the referee's got lesser time to do it. So running track, 400 metre running track. You run 75 metres in 15 seconds. Referees have got a 15-second, 25 metre walking recovery. Then you go 75 metres again in 15 seconds, 25 metre walking recovery. And you do 10 laps, so that's 40 runs. 40 recovery walks in 15 seconds, 40 runs. Us as linos, we do same, but we have 18 seconds walking recovery.
Yeah.
But then as sprints, so sprints with timing gates, you can't bluff it. It's a good lad. Yeah, well done, mate, you pass your sprints. None of that, you've got timing gates. So we've got 2 sprints that we need, no, 5 sprints we need to get through. We get 6 attempts to get through 5. If you fail 2 or 5, you fail the test.
Yeah.
So it's we've got to run 30 metres in 4.8 seconds, I think, something like that. Referees times 5.2, because obviously we're quicker online, we do more sprinting than what referees do more high intensity running, do more mileage than us, but all our running is a little bit more specific, about more sidewards, more sprints. So
Ref do more box to boxes.
yeah. Oh, they got HI stuff, and we just do all short, sharp, sprint stuff. So that's why the sprints are different. And also we have like 2 other elements. So there's 4 elements to it. So the sprints, the run, it's the FIFA test they call it. We run like 75 metres, 25 metres. And then we do something called a coda, which is a system referee specific. So you sprint 20 metres, side step 12, and sprint 20. And then you've got a certain amount of time to do that. I think it's 10 seconds, I think, something like that, to get that underneath. But you've got to do that under 10 seconds. And then also something called the Ariat, which is assistant referees, independent. It stands for something, anyways. It stands for something. It's called the Ariat, and that's basically the yo-yo test, the old bleed test.
Yeah.
But assistant referee specific, which is you run 20, side step 12 and a half, side step 12 and a half. 120, side step. You've got to get a certain level of that. And we have 2 of those. We have a fitness test at the start of the season, which you've got to pass otherwise you get games.
Yep.
If you fail 2, that's you done. Finished. So you could fail 2 through injury. You could tear a hamstring, pop a calf, that's you done. So if you failed it once, make sure you're 100% fit to do it next time. And then we have assessments through the season. We had assessments last week, and they're all there. We've got all the GPSs on, and they're all there. You've got to, if you don't get through, you don't get games.
Does everybody go at the same time?
Yeah, all at the same time, yeah. And then obviously, the further down the leagues that you go, they do exactly the same testing, but different timing. Obviously.
Yeah. The question I'm asking at the time, obviously, when you've gone in as full-time Premier League and you've got part-time, to make the ones who are possibly doing 40, 50 hours in a job, so you've got to be as fit as them.
You see what league football is like now, so
Yeah.
we're seeing it now even more so, and I'm quite worried about it really, and we probably are as a nation really, the top level football. So the first time it ever happened in English league football, everybody thinks English football started in 1992. It did exist before the Premier League, didn't it? But people don't realise that, do they?
Not if you ask Leeds fans.
Well,
they know it.
Well, exactly, yeah.
They know it.
Last year, Football League champions. So obviously back then, 1992 Premier League starts as you do. So I got up Premier League, I whipped my knackers off. You know what I mean? And I got really fit and stuff. So Ian Barnes got 97. 97, 98.
96.
So Barnes
yeah, in Prem 97, 98.
Yeah, so Arsenal went double that year, didn't they? So Barnsley, Palace, Bolton took in there. And they were the first time ever that the 3 gone up would come down.
Palace went up in playoffs, didn't they?
Yeah, Palace won playoffs. That's right, yeah. Barnsley. Yeah, Barnsley. Hopkins last minute, top corner, wasn't it? Great late on all that. Yeah, that was right, yeah. Last kick of the game, wasn't it?
Very last kick.
So Bolton League, Barnsley finished second. Palace went up in playoffs, and them 3 come down. First time it ever happened. It happened last year. Second time it happened. It's more than likely going to happen this year because obviously you've got Southampton bottom with 9 points, Leicester second bottom, Ipswich third bottom, and I think they're cut adrift a bit. You never know, they might get out.
I think there's about 7 points in it or something like that.
So the gap now is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I hear people saying, "Oh, the league's been shit this year. The Premier League's been shit." Trust me, Tom. Do you know what I mean? The level, I think it's been one of the best seasons ever this year because the usual top boys, the traditional top 6. Obviously, there's teams trying to push into that now, like the Newcastles and stuff. Obviously, Notts Forest have been amazing.
Unbelievable.
Whereas
Palace are
fantastic. We've got some players, haven't we? So that's.
I think there's, again, going back to a neutralist footballer who prefers old style of sort of football, I'm pretty glad that Man City is struggling. Because I struggle to watch them.
It's like death by a thousand cuts, isn't it? But they're top side out.
I think
They're very good.
I'm more happy with Premier League because we've got teams like Forest,
Which is amazing, isn't it?
Brentford,
Yeah.
Bournemouth doing well. You know, I like to see them sides. Bournemouth have got 11,000.
Yeah. Do you know, I think the Premier League is the best league in the world and why it's watched by everybody. And it is. All the other top leagues in Europe are jealous of it.
Yeah.
I was looking at Brentford, and I think they've a massive credit to the league, and he's a top man in, by the way, Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
We talk about these set-piece coaches. His club is the original one. You know, when they first come in, people were like wowed by these set pieces. They played Arsenal on Friday night, first game of the season, beat Arsenal 2-0. 2 set-piece goals.
Pinnock.
I think Pinnock got an assist from a throw-in, I think so. Scored from 2 throw-ins, but 2 set pieces, not just launching it, but 2 set-piece throw-ins with triggers and stuff. And we talk about these set-piece coaches, you know, obviously you've got Austin at Aston Villa, who's obviously long hair and beard and that. You've got the guy at Arsenal, I forget his name. And it's a massive topical thing now, but Brentford were the originals, weren't they? Yeah. So you see teams like Brentford who come up 4 years ago now, I think, and they're a proper established team, aren't they now? And that's because the manager's a genius, isn't he? So it is really
like you were about football and like preferring sort of older sort of Premier League. But it's like Forest this year, they've got ball like White Crossed it in and Woods just gone 1-0, 2-0, 3-0.
So that's why the league's the best league in the world,
Because it's kept his flag down.
I had Forest last time out when they beat Man City 1-0 and they were brilliant. And City had loads of possession as they do, but Sells didn't have that many saves to make.
He's class, by the way, Sells.
He made a save on the FA Cup on Saturday night.
Oh my God, we'll take that one over, yeah.
And then he saved 2 in shootout, didn't he? But then Forest still, I don't think they have 39% possession. That's their average all season. But they've got Wood as your number 9, and they've got 2 racing snakes either side, aren't they? Hudson and Alanga, and obviously Gibbs White just pulling strings. He was a top player. And the goal comes from a counter-attack in the 85th minute.
Yeah.
But the Premier League is so good because you've got a La Liga, you've got 18 teams, play the same way. Bundesliga, 18 teams, play the same way. Spanish League, 18 teams, 20 teams, whatever, play the same way. The Premier League is 20 teams and 15 different styles.
Yeah.
And it's like boxing. It's that styles make fights, don't styles make matches. Yeah. And that's why it's so good, Premier League. Not everybody plays like Pep's team. You've got like a counter-attacking team like Forest. Yeah. You've got Brentford who rely a lot on set pieces. You've got Liverpool a little bit more. They are a bit more full throttle with Klopp attacking wise, but a little bit more pragmatic on ball at back, aren't they? And that's why it's such a good league.
Teams that come up, they rely on that support and that newness in Premier League to catch people.
Well, Luton had a chance last year, didn't they? And I thought they were going to stay up. I thought they had a chance. And
they
sadly fell away,
didn't they?
Yeah,
and they're struggling now.
You go back to Palace and just a throwback and Mateta.
Oh, that's good. I like him because he tucks his shirt in, doesn't he? Old school number 9 in his shirt tucked in.
Yeah. But again, he's got Gretzky now.
Yeah, he's got Gretzky. Yeah, we can't comment on that. But you're talking about SA, that goal he scored at the weekend. What a goal that is, by the way. Cool. But that's one thing I'm worried about. We don't want the 3 coming down because the other 17 will just get stronger because they'll have the Premier League wealth every year. Stronger. Their squads will get better. And teams will come down. They'll end up a close shot, and we don't want that, do we? We want teams to come up like Forest did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Second favourites to go down this year.
Yeah.
The semi-final FA Cup. Yeah, second favourites to go down.
It'll be interesting to see what happens next year with Forest. You know, if they get in Europe and then...
Well, it's a bit like United, weren't it? Sheffield United went to Wilder Adam and they've got a lot like that.
When Kobe kicked in, they were Virgin Europe, weren't they? Yeah. And obviously the season after when they got relegated, not last time, the time before, because they've been up and down. When they had no fans in that season they got down, you can guarantee 8 wins at home at Bramall Lane. Yeah. So what's that, 24 points? And then you only need another 10, 15.
Did you get a couple of games there, Scott?
I think I did them once or twice. They kind of keep me awake because it's South Yorkshire. But I don't know if I'm on a lot. Obviously, Echo manager. Obviously, I was going to score with Paul, a year above Paul. We played in the same team because he was the best player, Paul. So he played a year above. You know what I mean? Little weedy left back, but still one show. You can see thinking this kid's got a chance, and obviously he's done really well for himself. And come across him a few times in the Premier League, and they did alright. But obviously it's another level. You don't get to talk about this year saying, "Oh, it's the worst league of all time, the worst Premier League of all time." You talk about it's slower than it used to be. Trust me, it's not.
And is all officials thinking exactly the same? Oh yeah. Mindset is like, what are they talking
when
about?
I first got up there, I was always a fit kid anyway, and that was my thing. I always feel like every football team I play for, you've got to be the fittest because it's the only thing you can control as a footballer or a match official. How fit you are, because when you're tired and your head's tired and your mind's tired, that's when you make mistakes. when you're alert and you're at it all the time, you make less mistakes. So that was always my thought process. Ex-squaddy and that. So always fittest at every team I played with, always the fittest. Even at husband, remember Dave Kelly, young Dave Kelly, so running me to ground.
Is he still at you?
I'm not too sure where he is now. The last time I was up to him was during COVID out on his bikes.
You were a fitness coach at Man U.
Yeah. Nice guy. I obviously played with Dave at Wasborough, like, and obviously with Royston Ship as well, because we had 2 Dave Kellys and we were top player. We used to pre-season training with Mark West, so I always used to beat him back, like, never happy. But I make sure I always fittest because it's the only thing you can control.
Yeah.
And I was saying on Prem, so I was always a fit kid anyway. So I got promoted on 1st of June, pre-season meeting July, so I had 2 months to get ready for first week of Premier League season, and I trained my knackers off and I was as fit as I ever been. To be PTI Army, used to be really fit. I went into Premier League super fit, and I expected it to be really challenging physically, but it's not. No. It's the Championship, League 1 and League 2 are physically tougher because teams are a little bit more direct. They get the ball forward a little more, so you're making longer runs. Yeah. But Premier League's there's not much happening. Yeah. It comes into the last third, it's fucking chaos. It's chaos. Yeah. So you just get to the stage when I first got on Prem. So we spoke about it before. So I'm at Wolves tomorrow, Wolves West Ham. So I'll drive to hotel tomorrow lunchtime. I'll have a massage. He gets on massage, by the way. We'll get a masseur, comes with us all day, it's great. So I'll get a massage at hotel, have a bit of lunch at hotel, go to the ground, get looked after the ground and stuff. Come home, and I'll drive on. I'll better get home from Wolverhampton in 2 hours.
At that time?
At that time, you have no traffic. So my first season on Prem, so I'm doing midweek games, and I think, pick a game. I did Tottenham one night, so I've been to White Hart Lane, and I'm sat up in my hotel at 3 in the morning watching game back on my iPad because I can't sleep.
That's the question I'm going to ask you. So, like, even at our level of football, when you play the game, I go back home, and really I shouldn't be asleep because I'm up at 6 for work, and I'm sat in bed thinking,
why did I do this?
What about that with that?
Yeah.
What about that with that? I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah.
And then now as a manager, I'm like going,
it's even worse.
Yeah. Why have I gone with him today?
Because you're overanalyzed.
Yeah.
And that's good, especially in
you say,
100%. And that's how we develop into it. If we just park it and move on, we'll never improve.
You drive home from Wolves tomorrow, will you be 2-3 hours at home?
I'll get home tomorrow probably about 2ish. I'll take dog out. Old boy who's 13 and look at me saying, I ain't going fucking nowhere, mate. But he'll be alright, but Cockapoo will. I was 18 months, she'll drag me around. So I'll take her out when I get back. So the first season on Prem, so it was a thing.
Yeah.
So say if you had a midweek game, you'd travel on day, and then obviously if you wanted to stay overnight, and everybody stayed overnight, so I thought, well, it must be the thing to do. So I stayed overnight, and I've been at White Hart Lane this game. I'm sat wide awake at 2 in the morning watching the game back. Couldn't sleep. 4 in the morning, wide awake, watched it back. And then after 2 or 3 times doing that, I thought, fuck it. So I just got a car and drove home.
Yeah.
I did Bournemouth last year. That's it.
Might as well be back in it, yeah.
Because there's no traffic.
Yeah.
You get on road closure, but I'm just wide awake. So I did Bournemouth last year in FA Cup, 5th round of FA Cup last year. It went to extra time. Bournemouth Leicester beat them and scored it with about 5-6 minutes left. No, it must be round of 16, so Leicester got to the quarters. So they beat Bournemouth, so I didn't get back to hotel till went to extra time, got back to hotel about 12:10. Plus I drove 5 hours in the morning to get to Bournemouth, because I said, if really get there, I'll have a lunch at hotel, chill out a bit. Had a bit like a day room so I could have a shower and stuff. And then, so I did that, did game, I got home at 6 in the morning, and I was still wide awake. So when I last got off work at 6:30, so I sat up having a room. Tell me, you'll get back? Half an hour ago. Aren't you going to bed? Probably going to bed in a bit. Because you're just wired, you know what I mean?
I thought she was going to say, I've not took no now.
Oh, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Is there like an incentive for you to stay, like, or that, you know, is the sense you're right, if you don't stop overnight, you get a little bit more, or...
No, there's no money.
You know what I mean? Like, so like in like a workplace, or like, you know, builders and stuff, they get digs paid for it. If they don't get digs paid for it, you get that money.
No, that. So what happens is...
It's just there for you if you want.
That's it. So my Premier League game come through today. So Everton, Arsenal 12:30 on Saturday. So I'll travel to Liverpool's Friday night. Yeah. So if it were 3 o'clock kick-off, I'd travel all day, because it's only now on that. Yeah. The hotel we meet in City Centre, I do it now. Yeah. Because it's an early kick-off, I'll be sitting up at 8 o'clock, so I'll travel a bit late Friday night.
Will you about 10 o'clock you'll get to ground? Or?
Yeah, no, I'll get to hotel about 10 on Friday night, and then we'll get to ground about Saturday morning, probably about 10:15. And you go through all your bits and bats, you go on pitch, check goal line, check your comms or VAR and stuff. So I'll do that. And I'll get to the ground and chill out and stuff. But it makes it, honestly, I listen to all kinds of stuff driving home. Like I said, I've not watched it. I've listened to it driving home. One of your podcasts. But I'm driving home. But some lads will stay up. A lot of lads, like I said, a lot of lads fly, a lot of lads get train. So you can't get train after a game at 10 o'clock in the night, so they'll go back morning after. But I'd rather wake up in my own bed. And plus it helps me preparation as well. So say if I stayed over, tomorrow night I stay over. I go up at 8, a 2-hour journey without traffic, 2-hour journey, Wednesday morning takes me 4. I'm not getting home until lunchtime. Then my recovery session's delayed from the night before. So my recovery session this week, I'll do a game tomorrow. My recovery session, I go out on my bike for a couple of hours, come back, get in my ice bath, chill out. So that's my recovery Wednesday. If I wake up in my own bed,
it sends it all to cop.
Yeah, I'm out on my bike at 8 in the morning. So, and then you've got rest of the day to yourself.
Your thing is, like you just said, though, if you're still awake at 4 o'clock, we've all done it.
You can't switch off, can you?
No. So then you'll sit here and thinking, right, I'll get up at 8. You get up and you think, feel like you've been out. It's that sort of feeling.
Because I'm used to it now. I've been doing it 16 years now. I'm used to it. So I could get home at 4, and I still I average getting up between 7:30 and 8 o'clock on a normal night. So tonight I'll go to bed about midnight, maybe 7:30 midnight. 7:30, 8 o'clock, that's when I get up. Simple, I get up. Dogs get me up at 5, I put them out and go back to bed. I like clockwork. Little scratches on the door. Let them out and go back to bed. Then I get up at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So even when I'm getting home at 4 in the morning, I'm still up at 8. Because, but I have a nice happy afternoon. Right? I have an hour afternoon. Yeah. That's a bit ratty today. I had to have a nap today. I've had a few jobs that have been coming here
Mrs. come here sometimes, she comes to games and stuff.
Well, obviously now we're job changing. She's if you need to buy a van, by the way, commercials for, she's just sitting over there, she's a bus there. So I've known Janine 23 years. She always worked in motor trade, and she worked every other weekend. So obviously with my job as well, we don't know where we're going 1 week to the next, we can't make plans. Yeah. So I've got weekend, I've made most of it. So now she's got every weekend off, so she's going to come more. So, excuse me, so tomorrow's me 498 Premier League game, it's not like I'm counting. 499 on Saturday, and then I'll only be third person in Premier League.
What other gear?
Well, that's it, you see. So when you come through the system and you do Premier League game, you'll see it on Premier League website. When a player gets to a milestone, they get like a Premier League coin. Yeah. I think I forgot one of West Ham players last week got one, and he's there with his coin, 100 Premier League appearances, whatever. And we get them 100, 200, 300, 400. But your 500, they allow you to pick what game you want, who the referees and who the lino is, and then they take you out in the city. So and then they take you out. Obviously, the Premier League pay for you, and obviously they take your families come across if you want. So the guys I'll be working with, they'll bring their partners and their wives, and then we'll go to a restaurant in the city. Can't tell you again because it's not published till next week. It's in Merseyside somewhere, and it's not Everton because Everton are on this week, so you have to talk between that. So what we'll do is Janine will come across. Because that's Marine that's got cables or something. But Foxtel, most of them.
That's your room space.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll go across there. Janine will come with me. We'll go over Saturday night if it is the game I want, which is on the Sunday. Do the game. Hopefully it goes well. If it doesn't, it is what it is. We move on. And then obviously they'll book us a restaurant and they'll take us out with all his families and stuff. It'll be really nice. And then, but that's because it's your 500th game. So
that's nice.
Yeah, so
it's a recognition.
It's nice. I'll be third person in Premier League.
I think that's really nice as well that they sort of put onus back on you, saying you would work with.
Yeah, the only time I ever ask you, because I said there's only Mike Dean, who's obviously retired now, bless him, what a referee he won, by the way. Great bloke, top bloke. And Darren Cann, who's still online, he's retired this year, we think, and he did the World Cup final. They're the only two to the 500, so I'll be the third, which is.
Wow,
it is honest, and it is quite humbling, really.
And like we're talking
from
about
that lad that read a snippet.
My mum, God rest her soul, bless her. She's a referee's cost £10. Don't you fancy it? So with her saying that, I probably won't be sat here talking to you boys because I want to be a good enough footballer to get on this show.
What a great story that is, though, because we talk about with players, with managers, where did it start? Just that's the bit you take away.
See, I remember as I say, I got to Cundy Cross because I got to Cundy Cross at that special live, bless her, and I'm sat there and I'm sat and looking through Chronicles we started about Freeze Cross, you fancy it? Yeah. And then I took it and it's went to treat, so it's really humbling. So
fitness wise then, Scott, how you feeling?
Alright. I'll be quite honest, one thing I always struggle with not so much now as I used to do. So when I got on Premier League, again like I said when we're playing, I always had to be the fittest. always. And on
Now
Premier
it's a
League,
realisation.
well, because I'm a little bit older, but when I got on Premier League at 32, outfitters, simple as that. And anybody watching this who's a ref, say it's not true, it's full of bollocks. Because we did the yo-yo test, and there's only ever me got to level 24. So, and when we did that, and because my competitive side kicked in,
Again,
I've got to finish first. So when you've been on the list a bit longer and you get a little bit older, you're not as fit as some young lads. Some young lads are now, because our job has changed massively now. So this is what the Premier League's like now. So when I got up Premier League 2009, Keith Hackett boss, Paul Rogier, ex-Premier League lino, were my boss. Kelly Wright, Keith Hackett's PA, and a guy called Matt Weston, head of sports science. 4 staff to look after, I think 35 Premier League linos then, 24 refs. Now, I reckon on the Premier League, just for us, there's 100 staff. Easy. There's 8 or 9 sports scientists. We've got 20 odd masseurs. We've got all
analysts and stuff.
We've got analysts coming out your backside, which is brilliant, by the way. That's in my research. So, like, I'd watch a game. So this has been my research. So tomorrow, West Ham Wolves. Sorry, Wolves West Ham. So up until recently, I'd watch Wolves' last game, West Ham's last game. Just bang 1 or 2 trends up, because some players make certain runs. Some players do little bits about and where they set up from set pieces. I still do it anyway. I still watch the 2 previous games. But now we get a data pack sent on a Friday. So obviously midweek game, my data pack landed today. So it's a data pack what clubs probably get, what our analysts put together, and it takes about an hour and a half to go through it.
But it's everything that you would have watched before.
Teams set up, the way they're set up, in certain possessions, and then they'll show set piece clips, offside clips, tackles clips, and you go through it. And people don't float the boat, but I love all that. You're thinking,
Going back to what you said about developing your own little techniques.
I love it, and I'm watching, and if me watching that for an hour and a half, excuse me, if that helps me get one decision right tomorrow, one more decision, of course it is. Yeah. And I love all that. So when it landed today, I've not watched it yet, so I'll probably watch it tomorrow morning and make a few notes and stuff. But obviously, I watched West Ham's last game, Wolves' last game, picked up a few bits. Obviously, Cunha's still suspended, isn't he? So he's a big miss for them. So, and he's a top player. He's a top player and stuff. But it's like the way it's changed now, our development, our preparation. Whereas back then there were 4 staff, now there's probably nearly 100 staff, and the way that we get looked after. So I got injured first game of the season. So it didn't affect me on games, but I had to have a small surgery on it. So West Ham, the opening game of the season, 5:30 Saturday night. Does the game. It's an artificial pitch. Felt nothing during the game. So I'm driving home M1, and I'm in an auto. So I'm idle driving, and I could feel my left knee getting a bit sore. It's a bit odd. So I get home at 2 in the morning, ringing Janine, and luckily she got a phone turned on. I think, so yeah, I'm at bottom of the drive. What were you ringing me this time for? You need to come and help me get out of the car. Because I couldn't get out of the car because my knee had swollen up that much. So I ended up, I tore my meniscus and I didn't know where it were at first. So I goes to bed, goes to bed, wakes up 8 o'clock Sunday morning. It's like a balloon mini. So Steve McNally, you'll know him, you'll recognise him. He was Man United's first team doctor for 19 years, Steve. Everton's for 3 or 4, then Man United. Somebody you'll recognise him. But then we retired from that 2 years ago and he works for us now. So a little bit less pressure. He's not travelling all over Europe with Man United as he used to do. So he looks after us. So I thought, I'll text him. Ring him. Well, it's Sunday. He said, I don't care, ring him. So I rings him Sunday. Right, send me a picture. So I send him a picture of me. Right, I'll ring you back. It's a Sunday morning, this, by the way. Right, I've got a scan for you in Manchester at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, an MRI scan. You okay to drive? If not, we'll send you a driver. No, because it's my left leg, I'm in an auto, I'm not using it. Perfect, get there. So I goes on this scan, MRI scan, I'm there about an hour and a half. It's obviously, it's the doctors and this place what Man United, Man City use, so it's the best of the best. So I've got my results, MRI scan, driving home. He says, it's nothing to worry about, it's not your ACL, it's not your...
I bet all you were thinking is don't keep me out for
I see. Yeah. So I'm thinking, he says you tore your meniscus, which is your meniscus is that bit between your cartilage, isn't it? Because when I straighten my knees out, I sound like a bag of crisps. So it's exactly that. So he said, look, we'll be able to manage it. This one at August. He says international break 2 weeks, and we'll sort it. So international break come. I went and drove to Leicester to see a doctor, a guy who looks after us. drained my kneecap, put an injection in, like new, and that was in space of 2 weeks. Because that's the care that we've got now, because we look after us. Well, back in the day, you'd have to look after yourself. You know, I once fractured my ankle on a game.
Bizarre. You just gone to normal, like normal trust, yeah.
So I did a Fulham Bournemouth late on in game. I've changed direction. And I thought I twisted my ankle, so I heard me winch on radio. I was on Jane and I went, "You alright, so I'm fine, we're fine." So it comes up after the game, I had to cut my boot off, because I couldn't get my boot off. So cut laces, and he's went like a balloon, did my ankle. We wear a tracksuit to a game now, by the way. Back then we wore a suit. I couldn't get my shoe on, because my foot was that bad, that big sort of...
Kickers?
Yeah, of course. Okay. Kickers, yeah. with green and red tab on them. Yeah, big kickers, yeah. So I couldn't get me... So I drove home in a tracksuit, flip-flops, and I fractured my ankle. I didn't know. So this was 2017, so it just shows how much will come in the last few years. So I get home, a bit sore Sunday. Andre says to me, "We've got a big game next week. I need you. You'll be fit, won't you?" So I'll be fine, don't worry. I'll take myself up. I'll be fine, take myself up. I goes to hospital Monday because it's killing me. It's like a balloon, this ankle. Like a balloon. So I goes into hospital and they went, "Oh, that's a bit sore, you done that?" So I loaded on a football game on a professional Premier League line. "Oh, you had done that." So, "Well, fine. You probably just strained it. Just go on, take weight off it. It's international maybe or so. Obviously, an extra week off." He says, "Just put some ice on it, you'll be fine." "How have you got here? Have you driven?" "Yeah, okay to go and find that way." So I'm like, "Okay." This is October. So I'm at Father's on Christmas Day, because we have Christmas Day off, don't we? And I'm sat there with my sock off. He said, "What are you got socks off for?" Father-in-law's. So my ankle's still killing me. He went, "Bloody hell. Look at the size of that." It was still swollen 2 months after, so I'd done 8 games. 8 games this day. So we had a meeting the week after at St George's Park, and the guy who looked after one of his physios, he went, "Bloody hell. When did you do that weekend?" I went, "No, I did it in October." He went, "You did what?" "October." He said, so I ended up having a scan that day. I fractured my ankle, tore 3 ligaments, and I ended up having 2 months out with a boot on. Because I was taping my ankle, I was just getting, alright. Yeah. I could move around on games and all fine, and you couldn't tell I was carrying a knock. Yeah. Because once I taped it up and it under my socks, you couldn't see the tape. Yeah. I was absolutely fine. I took the tape and my ankle just down like that. Yeah. And I just cracked on and ended up fracturing it. Andre minus 4, it's a little
I need you.
Yeah, so we've got Liverpool Arsenal next week. I need you on mine, so I ended up doing it. And
dropping travel all that.
But it just shows back then these entrenched cultural values you've got back then. Don't tell anybody you're injured, keep it to yourself, because they see it is a weakness in you. You can deal with it yourself. Yeah. Where now, because we're all open and honest, we just tell them to look after us. Yeah. But back then, I kept a fractured ankle under my belt for 8 weeks. Because I thought, well, if I tell them to take me off games, but I'm alright.
I know, it must have been like a weird situation.
So I'm turning up for training at St George's Park, and I was taking that many painkillers. If you shook me, I'd sound like a maraca. Because honestly, just so I could get through training. Because if I didn't train, I said, "Well, you're not training."
What adrenaline getting you through games?
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah. Like I said, as soon as I cooled down, it used to throb like hell. But because I taped it up, it did the job of the ligaments I'd torn. Yeah. The fracture was alright. That air boot on for a couple of weeks, or 2 months, it was alright. Yeah. But now it's totally different. The care that we get is on another level. Yeah. Honestly, we've got sports scientists, we've got obviously a couple of doctors.
Which is fair, isn't it? It is fair.
Yeah,
when you're full-time in this high level of sport, it's only fair, isn't it?
I reckon our workload is as... obviously, we're not as young as footballers. Obviously, not as highly tuned as what they are. But our workload, training-wise, is as much as what they do. Some referees do more than what footballers do. It's the guys that play middle of the park. But one thing that stands out to them is that we're self-sufficient. So I do 25,000-30,000 mile a year up down motorway to go to games where the top players, they're travelling the best travel. The best planes, the best coaches, the best buses. But we've got to do that burden ourselves, and it is what it is. They're not going to come and pick us up from our house. They do at Christmas if they want to, but it's nice at Christmas they offer to pick you up anywhere you want. Because obviously you do that many games in 5 or 6 days. You know what I mean? So rather than doing loads of travelling. So we do that, and that's why this ice bath I've got is a game changer. So when I get back tomorrow night, I'll jump in that. I'll go home at 2, I'll jump in it. After I've taken the dog out, I'll jump in it.
Dog on the extension.
Yeah.
He's got one of them cryo chambers bags.
I wish I had.
He's got that.
So what I call it, I've been out on bike today, so when I just chuck some ice in his bath. And I take little marginal gains, because we're all getting older now, and obviously we get older, things get harder. That's one thing I've noticed. I'm still a fit kid. I'm not as fit as the younger guys in the group. I'm not going to.
And have they said to you, will they give you a definitive date, or will it all be dependent on your fitness stuff?
Fitness performance. there's no age limit. I want to keep going. Like I said, I'm coming up to 500 Premier League games in the next couple of weeks. Fingers crossed, touch wood. To the 700,
which is some achievement.
Yeah, on to the 700 line.
Snippet of chronicle.
Yeah, that's it.
Unbelievable career. Yeah. Unbelievable career.
It's like
humble beginnings.
I just want to ask a couple of questions, if I can, before we finish. I've got loads of the Blackburn because I've really enjoyed this tonight because it's obviously another dimension to what we are doing, but also for viewers and people listening as well, especially to have someone
it's
of
a different
your
insight,
calibre.
isn't it?
Yeah. But also to have someone of your calibre that actually people might just think, oh, he's an ex-copper who's just gone into referee. It's not been like that, your career, your path and stuff like that. You've actually been there putting that, so you've actually been there getting levelled by players and stuff.
That's probably why it took me 6 years, because I understand the game, you know what I mean? I love it, you know what I mean? That's like, I'm still obsessed with it now.
A couple of questions I've got. So one, I went to a referees gathering in Sheffield, Nottinghamshire. They invited us as a football club.
That's right,
to
you
go
did.
and,
Sheffield FA.
Yes, we're a great night. And there were a couple of refs in there that had a couple of ding-dongs with, that were all laughing and joking and forgot about and stuff. And it was nice to get their views and them talk and us talk and stuff. But we talked about new rules. And the biggest one for me was the time wasting by a goalkeeper, which is
coming in,
which is
wish it could come in against Arsenal.
which I think is going to be an excellent. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm pleased.
Are you pleased with that?
Yeah, because you see now the level of football now, and you see teams, all these marginal games. One thing that I don't like, and something that I think there needs to be a rule change in, it gets to 20 odd minutes, a goalkeeper goes down injured, something in his eye, and then they have a family meeting at halfway line. Yeah. Both teams get together, because they know for a fact that when a goalkeeper goes down for treatment, you don't have to go off.
Correct.
He's the only player who stays in the field. So you see it, and there's teams have been doing it, and more teams do it, and more teams do it, that you can see they get the signal, goalkeeper was down, something in his eye. Yeah. Doctors go on, I think, that's a disgrace, you too. So doctors are on. So he stood at halfway line, and obviously you've got a coach there who's got iPad out with and change little bits and bats. So I'd like to change something like that.
Some keeper's doing his warm up. He knows full well he's not going on.
Correct. So some goalkeepers don't get up.
Yeah, gloves on.
Yeah. Because they know that they can kill the game and they come across the technical area. So I'd like that to change. But this new one regarding this old 6 seconds, I can't remember the last time I saw.
That were it for me, Scott. That were exactly it for me. No.
The goalkeeper getting punished for that.
And you can count it 5, 6, 7, and then
9, 10.
But the fact that they're going to give a corner on 8 seconds, is it?
Yeah, so we think now, obviously, until obviously the law comes in, the rule changes, the law changing 1st of June, I think. When obviously the IFAB, the seasons change and the new law amendments come in. So now, say tomorrow night, Jose Sar's messing around with ball and Tony Harrington referee decides, and rightly so, he could have had it 10 seconds, could have 7, which is the laws of the game, out after 6. He could indirect free kick. If you're going to indirect free kick in penalty area, there's a good chance you're going to end up in a goal. So what's the best ploy? Probably not be as forceful on what they got. We know it's not right. We know it's like thinking, well, if you did it every 6 seconds, there'd be 27 indirect free kicks. So someone's goal, we can keep again, just throw it away, wouldn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So the only thing that I'm not worried about, I think it's a good addition, is because at the end of the day, if he holds it for 8 seconds, it goes out for a corner. The odds of being scored from a corner is something like about 20%. So it's a lot lower than what an indirect free kick in penalty area is. So that's going to be better. It'd be more deterrent for goalkeepers to come and catch it, walk 5 yards and collapse on the floor. But how they're going to enforce it time-wise? So because referee's not going to, as soon as it's exposed, he's not going to shout 1, 2. No, so how they're going to enforce it? They can't put it on a big screen on a clock, because the laws of the game, apart from obviously with VAR coming, so a few things have tweaked, but the beauty of football is that the laws of the game at the top are the same as they are at Sunday League. So how they're going to enforce it? So that's going to be a difficult thing to enforce. They're trying it in Premier League 2 at minute, and I don't know how they enforce it, so I should really know, to be fair. So that's good, but then again, when does it start? When does the referee? Is it the referee's discretion when it starts at 8 seconds? Because the referee could think, well.
See, for me, there needs to be a couple of early decisions in the Premier League. Not that cost teams, but someone 1-0 up, meaning 1-0 up, 3 minutes left. Someone gets.
They'll give a corner and somebody scores.
Does it start when he clears it, he rolls on? That starts.
But then again, he can't see it calls it falls on the floor. It's going to take him 4 or 5 seconds to get up. And then he's just got to get rid of the ball. So the game will change because
It will.
we see, obviously, this is Pep Guardiola's got blood on his hands, Pep, by the way. But you see some morning football now trying to play out of back. I'm thinking, trust me, the boys at the top struggle with it. So you guys are trying to do just get it forward and pick bits up.
Rather than rock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. See,
It's so true, though, isn't it?
you remember coming in, you see, with Pep, you had 2 split centre backs and 2 full backs practically at halfway line from a goal kick. You're thinking, what's that? And it's better for the game because the game become a better spectacle. But how are they going to enforce this? So that's going to be my question: when does the time start, and how are they going to enforce it? Because a referee
You're in favour of it?
100%. Because there's nothing worse than time waste. Because at the end of the day, well, speak about my mum paying £100 a month for Sky. There's no doubt we all pay similar. We want to see football, don't we? We want to see the ball in play as long as we can.
Yeah.
We know what teams are like. All these marginal gains by taking time. But you're playing at Man City away. Unless you want big hitters, you usually go there. Obviously, City have struggled a little bit this year, something like that. You sit in, don't you? And slow everything down, kill the tempo, and then
shithousing is fine.
Shithousing, that's the technical term, isn't it? That, yeah. So
You'd do it, wouldn't you, though?
you would do it, exactly. You're not going to go toe to toe. These big hitting clubs and go toe to toe come on that side because you get turned off because they're better team, better players.
Yeah.
So I'm just conscious how they're gonna introduce it and how they're going to enforce it. Like I said, some referee might start the counter 8 after 6 seconds. Some referee might start it straight away.
Yeah.
So it can only be a good addition, though.
Yeah.
It's just it'll be.
Like you said, so much would happen though.
It's now on the long day of Premier League season next year. The poor referee who gets the Friday night game or the 12:30 on Saturday afternoon, the first game of the season. Everybody's looking at him.
Just reruns of that.
Who's going to be the first?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the first?
And another one I had were comms. So you took ref.
What is as in? So people could listen to it.
So no, I don't want to listen to it. I'm just intrigued about. Do you have a laugh at it?
Not anymore. We used to.
Yeah.
Honestly, the banter used to be amazing, but we were ultimate professional. Don't get me wrong, because obviously you can't take piss in Premier League.
No.
But before VAR coming, we were very relaxed. Certain teams, we all did marinate, and we had a great laugh.
Yeah.
We had a great laugh, but we knew at 3 o'clock we were at it.
Yeah.
But we still had a great laugh on games. We took piss out of each other. You know what I mean? As you do, but it affected decision making. It probably kept you honest, really, and I used to love it. It kept me switched on, a bit of banter between each other. We knew when we had to be at it, we were. Since VAR's coming, it's different now because people want to hear comms.
Yeah.
People want to put them in the public domain, which Howard's been doing on this referee's mic too, which is really good. So that'd be difficult while having a bit of banter. We can't show that clip because he's calling him a so and so, and he's saying this too. So it can only be better. It can only be because it's more professional. Will the day come when they play the comms during the game? Where we can remember when Sky came back, you could press the red button and watch player cam. You don't pick any player when you could watch it, which was amazing, weren't it?
Yeah.
But so imagine that now. It's like when you go to cricket and you've got these earphones and you can listen to commentary.
Yeah.
Could there be an option in future when you press the red button and listen to the referee's comms? Who would want to do it? You two probably not, but some young inspiring referee might do. Because you're learning, aren't you? So, and you're thinking, what do they talk about at the top level? And that's why I think this referee's mic touch's really good, because it's an insight, what we talk about, what we're discussing, and we've got nothing to hide.
No.
Do you know what I mean? One thing that absolutely winds me up off the clock, it's either in the Premier League, decisions either correct or corrupt. And I won't say, and I've done 705 professional games. I said I don't count. I've never ever once
This time tomorrow it'll be
706. Yeah. So I've never once sat in a dressing room when we've discussed not just doing his jobs.
No.
Yeah, it's just
we're here
to do.
It's like you see people come and talk sport, and that gets me home a lot on a night listening to Cundy and O'Hara having a laugh about obviously what's happened that day, and fans ringing in and stuff, and they're accusing referee of cheating and stuff. I'm thinking, this is England, we don't do that. This is the British Isles, and it just does not happen.
It's not Turkey.
But it's like, but that's the term is that we use. It's either correct or corrupt.
Yeah.
But it's not. You know what I mean? And that obviously winds me. We all make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's elite level football.
Yeah.
You know, because the game is so quick. You know what I mean?
We do it in day to day work, don't we?
Of course we do. That's it.
Simple as that.
It's just that when you.
But I just didn't know that we were talking about that not putting flag up
Yeah.
for offside, and I was just thinking, is ref like thinking no, but like thinking he goes to fucking Bandura, don't he? It was just pretty tough.
Yeah.
Just pretty tough.
Blows whistle, yeah. But you know it's like...
If any games we're on one-on-one, keep it down, because there's
Yeah.
a chance of finishing this, but if someone else goes one-on-one,
You know what Premier League's
put it
like.
up, Scott.
I get it up, he's not screaming
Yeah.
But you know what it's like.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a good addition to listen to comms. But again, we talk about how responsible we are, and there's we might have a little bit of joke every now and again, but very rarely. But also you have to think about the responsibility of the footballers.
Yes.
Of course.
So can you imagine, you'd have the commentator apologising every 30 seconds.
Yeah, sorry you heard that.
Yeah, exactly. But that's, it's not football. Do you know when I speak at our age?
People forget humans.
Correct, yeah, exactly. Do you know when it's industrial language, isn't it? And do you know when I speak at referee associations and we're like contracted to do a few a year, and I really enjoy them, so I'll put together a load of clips and guitar and I'll just talk them through it. Okay, then let's forget the comms in the background. Now we get this decision right. Talk me through it. I do that, and then we have a bit of Q&A, and I did one at Derbyshire a couple of weeks ago. And the most common question is foul language in professional football. But it's not football's problem, it's society's problem. You know what I mean? And I get people will be offended, 100%. But that's why I don't think the comms would ever be released. I think a new edition that's just been introduced, which is good. Whether it's coming in or not, it's a different story. The referees don't want to do it, but I think they're going to be doing it. The public announcements, they've been doing it at FA Cups.
Yeah.
Saw on Saturday night with Peter Banks.
Yeah.
It obviously gives a penalty. Andy Madley, the VAR, recommends an on-field review. He goes and has a look at it, and then he holds his mic after review. The Nottingham Forest number 8 wasn't fouled by number 20. Therefore, the decision is no penalty, drop ball to goalkeeper, which is really good, because the most important people for me in football, it's not us, it's not players.
The fans.
It's the fans.
Yeah.
And getting that message across, how you come to that decision.
Yeah.
And you can show replays.
Because otherwise it just goes up.
That's it.
Drop ball.
And then,
on screens.
and then there's a statement on big screen.
Yeah.
But you talk about some clubs show a replay or show a still and offside and stuff, you know what I mean? And they show the lines and stuff. But the two biggest clubs in English football, arguably in the world football, haven't got a big screen. It's Liverpool and Man United. Old Trafford and Anfield, they've got no big screen.
No.
So how can they communicate what the decision is? So that's why I think it's a good addition with these referees announcements. I don't think the referees are keen, but I like it as a fan. I've been to a couple of games this year as a spectator, just to listen to see what it's like, and it's a decent experience. Because you've got the fans at home. What you're doing is, you've been to games, Premier League games. I've been to a couple this year. When I go to a game on a weekend, and I said to lads, I'm going to spare tickets, especially when they're local. Yeah, so I just go. I've been to Forest once or twice, been to some other clubs just to watch a Premier League game, and you don't know what's going off. Because I'm from that line of work, I kind of know what the process is. So what they're discussing, why is it taking so long? What's the like? But people who are not educated like me, football referees wise, and know what's coming because I'm involved in the process. They're like, what's gone off there? And you're like asking your mate, what's that been disallowed?
Yeah, they're genuinely.
Yeah.
It's like punishing the fans.
Somebody's just took it to poke a pie and missed it.
Oh, exactly. But that's why since Howard's coming, and Howard's been in charge, it'll be 3 years in December, that he has drawn the curtain back, and he wants to be like this referee's mic'd up, which is introduced. Like, it's a brilliant show when the play comes on stuff and you can hear the process.
It's completely transparent.
Yeah. And he wants to be like. But I think his hands are tied a little bit with FIFA and the IFAB. They've done to allow a lot of stuff, and he wants to draw the curtain back so the likes of us who are football fans, because we are football fans at the end of the day, know what's happening.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than in a stadium thinking what's that. True. So I want to watch a game last year. I went to watch not last year before Liverpool Villa. So Andre Minder's coaching, because he's a Villa fan, Andre, and he had a spare ticket. You want to come? Because I had a game Saturday, so I drove through Liverpool and watched the game. And I know what we're looking for, but this Liverpool, the goal disallowed for offside. We know what we're looking for. But the offside offence took place in the 6-yard box, but they restarted the game at edge of box, and I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute. Why are they kicking off from there? Yeah. And me and Andre were confused. Andre's there coaching. I'm there as an active Premier League official, and I didn't understand why they restarted it. They just restarted from the wrong place. If they restarted from the 6-yard box, I thought it must have been Van Dijk, must have been offside. And they were. Yeah. But they restarted at edge of box. I thought, hang on a minute. Well, Van Dijk, who scores the goal, who's more than likely going to be offside because nobody else has touched it. Well, he touched it in 6-yard box. Yeah. They just restarted it wrong place. So it confused us really. Yeah. And then we had to seek clarification through the app that they're on, and he said, oh, it's been disallowed by Van Dijk, and he showed me replay. And that's me who sat there knowing what to expect. Yeah. So these poor punters who pay 66 quid a ticket, or whatever they pay, they pay a fortune. They're the best place to watch football now, I think, is at home on your sofa. Yeah. And that's not right, I don't think.
It's definitely not.
It's like I try and get to Oldwell a lot and watch a few games. I like it down there because I want to go coaching at some stage when I eventually retire.
Yeah.
Over I've got a few years in my left, if my knees hold up. I want to get into some coaching because I've got a fair bit of experience. By the time I've done, I might have done 1,000 games, hopefully. I'll be able to put something back. So when I go to watch Reds a lot now, I'm going to see officials before a game. Obviously, have a little chat with the rest, but obviously my expertise line-outs. So I like to watch them. And I make sure I move around the ground because I'm quite lucky. I'm quite lucky, and obviously I get looked after by a football club. They're doing alright, I feel for Dell actually, a nice club, but I'm a bit sad for him. Hopefully,
I think you're good at that, especially when you say how many games you've done on that.
Well, I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate because even now, like, as soon as I think I know everything about assistant referee, it's time to pack up. Time to pack up. It's like now. It's like I chatted to officials, a League One official, and there were a topic of decision in the last few weeks, a penalty, which was given, but I didn't know what the process was. So I just reached out to him, and he went, "Oh, right, Scott, thanks for calling. Just talk me through your process, because obviously, can I learn something from this?" And I gave him a bit of advice, and he told me what this point, the way he gave this penalty, and I thought, yeah, I kind of get that. And I kind of told him what my process would have been. So this is the kid who was lying on League One, and who's never see. So it's different, like so. And I learned a little bit from him, and I gave him a little bit as well. So it's like he just float me boat all like that. Yeah. I'm still going to keep going, like fingers crossed. But like I said, I'm still a fit kid. It's the recovery which gets harder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know when you're trying to pull yourself out of bed? Honestly.
Maybe cut down walking dog when you get it and see that.
Well, she drags me up there, honestly. She's mental. I'll go on tonight, I'll take her back because Janine doesn't like taking her out. She takes old boy out, Janine. Charlie's 13, he goes, he's like 10. She's just like at it. So I'll take her out when I get back, and she does drag me up hill. Because when we went into the village at weekend, she dragged us up hill. I don't believe. And we went Bosa for hours, and she's still dragging us around Bosa. She never stops. But yeah, I still get around a lot. It's just that it takes a little bit more to recover. Yeah. But the way that they look after us is great. Brilliant. Honestly, there's nothing left stone unturned. We get the best of the best. Like my plan this week is I've trained today. I've got match day -1 today, which is speed. So I have new boots and I'll wear some Puma Kings tomorrow. Some nice Puma Kings.
Old school.
Some nice, but just release some Puma Kings.
Lotto's what best.
I've seen me Lottos. I've got some Lotto Stadios with green tongues. They're proper nice then. 30-year anniversary, so I bought some this year, so I wear them. I bought them this year. So I've done that match day -1 today. I think I've got 18 sprints, certain distances. That on my GPS and stuff, and certain miles, certain promises.
Bacon egg sausage tomorrow morning.
If only that's at weekend. I've got that to look forward to Sunday, but I'll be carving up tomorrow. And then I've been out on my bike today, which was good. Come past here, didn't realise you lived here, which is good. Good to know. So I'm bobbing every now and again. Bobbing when I'm driving back. And then game tomorrow. Recovery on Wednesday.
I'm preparing for that one.
Past 12 Saturday, so and then before you know it, season we don't want it. You always sort of get past international back in March. It just goes like that, doesn't it? It's crazy, isn't it? And then what do we do in summer? There's no tournament, is there, this year?
No.
Cricket.
Oh, yeah, you'll be...
No, I've not played for 2 years because my body can't take it.
Maybe a couple of games, maybe?
I might walk up to. I take dogs up to Dart. A few beers. Because we've got Kexbrook Hill, up Bents Lane. We've got Dart and Higham up Hill, Woolley, up at what they call it, up at Woolly Grange.
For choice, mate.
That's it, mate.
You'll always
a few beers. But I do miss, like I said, same as you boys. You boys obviously involved in football, that competition, and I do miss the cricket. My body don't, but my mind does.
I still jump in with training and that. Do as much as I can. Just competitive.
See, when I play cricket, excuse me, so I train 3-4 times a week. I play 2 games a week. There'll be a Premier League football game in there and all. And I'm still flying bang at it, but then when you get older and you're looking after your body more, a little bit more meticulous. Obviously, I've had a few problems with my knees this year, but they're really good at the minute when I haven't trained, which is not fun, by the way. I hadn't done not last week, week before. So I haven't done every 6 months, both my knees. So I go and see a guy who looks after us in Stoke-on-Trent. So he goes in and pulls all crap out. He pulled 10 mils out of my left knee last week, 56 out of my right one, and then puts like a steroid injection in. It's like you've got new knees overnight. It's crazy. I don't do anything for a week, a bit of ice on them, and then I'm back in full training. It's crazy, like so. But still keep going on.
Good stuff.
But it's been a brilliant insight.
Enjoyed it. It's been good.
It's been class.
It's been good.
Just from me, good luck in tomorrow's game.
Thank you.
On Saturday, but even more so for your 500th, mate. You deserved it. anybody who's had longevity that you've had in a top level, an elite sport that you have deserves congratulating, mate. So enjoy your day, wherever it may be, Tranmere, Barrow,
Marine,
Marine,
I think, yeah, Marine. If it's on Merseyside, Marine, I think.
Enjoy your day and here's to the next 5
Yeah,
minutes.
enjoy, guys. Thanks for having me. It's been good.
Top man.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
mate. Thank you.
Enjoy that, guys.